Fabulous.
Exact. Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, look, I think today, photos from today would look pretty awesome. It's so color coordinated. Yeah, very nice.
I'm really...
So thank you for being sports, you guys, and actually doing this. Mike has played it extremely well. So it's a combination of pink and blue both. So you can see that it's in the middle. So very well. Okay, so should we start with the code of conduct and welcoming everybody? And yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So welcome everyone to our last day of BizzMatcher Accelerator Conference, Volume 1. There will be a second volume in November and a Volume 3 in December. My name is Munir Romani. I'm the CEO and founder of Signature Network, a platform dedicated to high net worth network events, online and offline. And with us, we are pleased to have Samar Hassan, angel investor, founder of Epiphany, live from Pakistan. Mike is yours.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Like Munir mentioned, today is day 4. We've had some people who are very, very regular visitors, so they've been back every day. Thank you especially to all of the investors and the advisors for coming back every single day, so that all of the startups in this series of BizzMatcher can benefit equally from your expertise and wisdom. At the same time, some of the startups have also been very, very regular and dedicated and listening to everybody. So Mufti, I saw you on all days. I think I'm expecting the best pitch from you because you've had a chance to listen to everybody's feedback as well. No pressure, of course, no pressure. But anyway, so today is day 4. We've had some fantastic startups come to us from the fintech space, from lifestyle space, from agri-tech, green tech, fintech, I said already. So a mix of startups that came every single day, and health tech as well. And today is the final day. So there are some people. So today is more of a mixed kind of group because some people couldn't make it earlier. Yeah, Mahdi, very good. Yes, I'm glad you're paying attention. But anyway, okay. So very quickly, let me jump into the code of conduct. So like always, we're going to remain muted if we're not participating or presenting. We will try to respect time. So people, you have between 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Some startups, need a little bit of extra time. So Munir has been kind enough to extend a little bit of extra time to those startups. So please respect the time frame. Otherwise, BizzMatcher is going to penalize you, which is not very nice.
Yeah, we don't like to use the word penalize, it's quite negative, but yeah, I'd like to send you some sweets, let's say.
Yeah, yes. Other than that, obviously, there's a lot of cultural diversity in this room today. So, just be as respectful as possible. Their constructive feedback is always welcome. So constructive feedback is really helpful and useful. Startups move to the other, move further along. So that is appreciated. Other than that, best of luck. I think you guys are fantastic for having made it this far, and hopefully. So we've had 8 matches until yesterday. I don't know about yesterday's. Did we have some more matches, Munir?
Yesterday we had 1 more matches. Yes, we had 1 match yesterday.
Very good. So 9 matches already in this group, and hopefully today it's going to be your day.
Excellent. So before we get started, Samar, thank you very much for reminding the code of conduct to all the startups. So all our sessions are recorded, and we'll be circulating the recording and the videos to the rest of all the investors who are joining afterwards and who cannot join. So nothing is lost. Don't worry about it, guys. We have it all planned and structured, and we'll be contacting each one of the startups who have, whenever an investor has an interest, we'll be contacting and making the matchmaking accordingly with you guys. All right. So before we get started, let's give the microphone to our charity partner, Mohammed Bali, CEO of Appeal Middle East.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Good morning, good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Once again, Munir, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for this marathon of 4 days. It's been quite interesting and good to be part of this 4 days, and well done. First of all, well done for the organization and for all the participants. It's been really great, and for all the investors. As you said, I'm Mohammed Bali. I'm CEO of Penny Apple Middle East, based in Dubai. We are a UK-based organization, and we're established in 2009, and we work in emergencies, but also we have also development projects in 35 countries: Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin America. And we have offices as well in US, in Canada, Australia, and South Africa. Our work is really to support local organizations to develop and strengthen their capacity to really become actors of change themselves. And as you know, this most recent weeks and months has been there was lots of emergencies, and the big one is the COVID as well as the Lebanon blast. So we've been present in both fronts. For COVID, we worked in many countries. We worked in the Middle East, in Palestine, in Syria. We supported them with some COVID, but also in Europe, in UK and US, we supported the local communities who have been impacted by COVID. And then we worked in Pakistan and Bangladesh as well. So this is really, and of course, the most recent event was the blast in Lebanon, where we've been working there for the last few weeks, and our work is still ongoing. So really, that's once again, thank you to you and your team for all these really amazing events that you've been able to put together. And I don't want to take more of the time and let the candidates and the startups do their pitch. And good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mohammed Bali, CEO of Penny Apple Middle East, based here in Dubai. Before we move on, Samar, what I would like to do, I'd like to introduce our most loyal investors and advisors who have been connecting on a daily basis so far with us. So I think they really need and they deserve the support and the exposure. So I would like to first thank Jean-Luc Scherer for being very active with us and giving very precious advice to the startups. Hi, Jean-Luc. Can you say, please,
Hello,
some few
everybody.
words?
Yeah, so I'm a startup coach, entrepreneur myself, based out of Dubai. And I help people from in very early stages, typically all the way to fundraising. I run also and design entrepreneurship programs and boot camps.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jean-Luc. Alexandre Katrangi.
Yes, please.
Investor.
Good afternoon. Yes, definitely. So basically, to make it short, we are a holding company based out of Dubai, Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, and we are ourselves investors when we are fully convinced of a file and we like it and it's in line with our investment strategy. Otherwise, we introduce it to our portfolio of investors. We are for whom we manage their funds and we manage their assets.
Okay, thank you very much. Now back to the ladies. Christina Klassen, live from Switzerland.
Christina with a K, yes. So I'm a startup coach. I'm part of many accelerator programs. I'm myself maintain and build my own startup portfolio. So I have a very diverse portfolio for now. And I support startups on 3 major topics. It's fundraising, fundraising strategy mostly, it's strategy itself, and it's growth. And I set up my first business as a very young student. So, and I just love what I do. So once happens to me, somebody asks, Christina, what do you do for business? I say, this is my business. No, it can't be. You are having so much fun. What you are doing? It has to be something different. So
very, very energetic, Christina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Heike Lip Wilson.
Yes.
Is she around?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great pleasure, great exciting stories to hear. And I'm also like a serial entrepreneur. I was having my own first company when I was 25, second when I was 39. And again, I'm self-employed. I think I don't work with investors. I'm more like a coach to get the best out of the people, you know, to be the best version of themselves. I do a lot of pro bono work. I work with universities and and students, and as well as for startups. My main work is actually helping international brands to settle down in the region, starting from setting up the business, what kind of organization, free zone or mainland, and so on forth, helping them with higher expansion strategy of GCC. So it's a little bit different to what others do. I'm also seeing my work more in not the startup, but then in continue coaching people when they're struggling with their business and how to make sure they have a long-term vision and survival strategy, so to speak. And otherwise, yeah, I'm a happy person and I'm happy to be here.
Please spread the happiness. Keep spreading the happiness. Thank you very much, Heike. Let's move on to Mike Hardcastle. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Always a pleasure to have you here with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes. So I'm Mike Hardcastle. I invest in technology that evolves humanity. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. I'm interested in taking humanity to the next level. So that's what I do.
It's very interesting, Mike. So investors also have their own elevator pitch when it comes to introducing themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's less important.
No. But it's very interesting. Yeah. Excellent. Dr. Dalal Hawass, I can see her connected. Dr. Dalal, if you can say a few words. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's great. I've really enjoyed the last 3 days of this pitch competition and looking forward to the final day. So yeah, my name is Dalal Hawass. First of all, it's a refresher to hear someone pronounce your name correctly. So I've been based out in Asia for the last 10 years, first in Hong Kong and now in Singapore. So for me, I'm really about bringing R&D to commercialization. So I'm originally a scientist and kind of made that crossover into the investment space. So typically what I do is I work with accelerators and VCs, and I establish accelerator programs. That's more for early stage startups. I began with sort of the broad spectrum of food technology. So that's more of the upstream and downstream processes. But now I'm mainly focused with Big Idea Ventures in the alternative protein space. So for us, Big Idea Ventures is primarily focused in alternative proteins. We look at everything from your plant-based and cell-based meats. We're global investors, and we're backed by a $50 million fund by both, let's say, governmental and corporate LPs, notably Temasek from Singapore, as well as Tyson Ventures from the US, and Buehler, which is a technology company based out of Switzerland. So we really sort of combine these strategic LPs to help us give our entrepreneurs the best leverage and platform, them to be global, let's say, dominant players in the alternative protein space. So I'm very excited to hear more from these amazing startups. Personally, I sort of mentor and let's say judge everything from medtech all the way to food tech based on my, let's say, experience. But yeah, I'm excited to hear more from the different spectrums and different sectors and this amazing pitch competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dalal Hawass, live from Singapore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Excellent. So without any further ado, Samar, we're going to introduce the first entrepreneur, the first startup of the day. I believe
Absolutely.
This is I believe this is George Esanu representing Ure, Chile.
So just a quick question. Hello. Is Leila going to join us today?
Leila. No, she has excused herself. She's very busy.
Okay.
But she sent greetings to everyone. Yeah. Okay. So we will be joining by the general manager of WeWork Middle East, our strategic partner, Mr. Riyad Thomas, will be joining within.
He's here.
Is he?
Yes, I saw Riyad.
Yeah.
Hi, Riyad.
How are you?
Please show yourself, Riyad. Yes, if you can.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Very glad to see you, Riyad. Riyad, the general manager.
Happy to join. That's my second time. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, maybe just a few words. My name is Riyad Thomas. I'm based in Dubai. We just launched our operation recently in Jan. We started the WeWork in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. It's been a real good adventure so far. Maybe a few words around WeWork. We started a decade ago with startups, even though we evolved to have a 50-50 portfolio between large enterprise and startups and entrepreneurs. We'll always look at balancing that community, because I think that's been a key success factor into how we build our communities, and we want to make sure we keep that balance. I think flexibility was the DNA of WeWork, and with COVID, it sort of accelerated our industry, because I really believe flexibility is going to be our most valuable currency when it comes to office workspace moving forward. What we're seeing is that people want flexibility in space and time. Nobody wants to commit to long terms anymore. I want to, as a member, I want to be able to expand or contract based on my business needs. So I don't want to be committed to 100 desk office when I might downsize during COVID, but I also want to be able to expand if I'm hiring more personnel. From a time perspective, yeah, nobody wants to commit to long term. And basically, this is what we offer. And we're innovating always our products. I think COVID sort of pushed us to adapt our offering. And now we're launching 2 new products. One is called WeWork All Access. As a WeWork member, you'll have access to all our portfolio around the world, and now we've got around 850 buildings. And the other one is WeWork On Demand, where you can book an office space or a conference room based on hourly based or daily. And this is something also we thought about when we compared a bit towards Amazon, where nobody pays for the subscription fee. You pay just for what you need. And this is basically the concept we started with. I think the demand is very much there in the Middle East. We're looking to expand into other countries such as KSA, Egypt. But even within the UAE, we're just scratching the surface. And I think that's going to be how tomorrow works, or the future of work. So again, thank you for having me, Munir. Thank you all.
Well, it's always a great pleasure to have our strategic partner with us. WeWork, represented by its general manager, Middle East, Riyad Tumas. And WeWork is the most flexible, formula for startups or entrepreneurs to, as Riyad said, to either get bigger or contract, depending on the situation, without any monthly retainer. So great. The stage is yours, Samar.
All right. Okay. So without much ado, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. A very quick intro about myself. So today I'm going to be your moderator like I have been for the past 3 days. But I've been working in the startup space for quite a while now. I'm also an angel investor more recently. And we've established a small network of like-minded people called Angels. It's still operating kind of informally right now. And really, I'm particularly interested in impact startups, women-led businesses, and the work that Epiphany, which is my organization, the work that we do is spans across micro entrepreneurship all the way to technology startups. So it's a wide range, but that's actually what the country right now needs. So I'm from Pakistan, so we're joining you live from Islamabad, and it's also quite a bright and sunny day, like somebody was remarking earlier. So all right, so without much ado, we've got our first entrepreneur, Mr. Asano. I think that's easier. The last name is easier than the first name. And he's going to be presenting his startup called Urichala.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Just a moment.
And George has, Samar is allocated 10 minutes, and Samar will be supporting Mr. George for expressing his business.
Yeah, sorry. I'm speaking 3 languages and no one too professional. So just a moment. Right. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the investors, the entrepreneur, the experts, I'm Gheorghe Eșanu, originally from Republic of Moldova, a lovely country which I strongly recommend and invite you to visit. But for the last 5 years, I'm living and working in London. So before I starting, I would like to introduce you a project video presentation, and on the same time, I'll tell you why I'm coming with this concept, what's the story behind this, and why this business is on the right time today. So as more than half a life, I lived in a village. I can say I have in the blood the love for animals breeding. So from early age of my life, my family developed in me this spirit for farming. So today I'm in front of you to share this spirit and to offer the opportunity behind this. So why such a business needs in Moldova right now? And the problem is that in about 40 cities of Moldova, with almost 1 million population, which don't have access to such a demanded product as rabbit meat. So I find this problem very simply visiting supermarkets, where from a whole meat diversification, rabbit meat doesn't exist. So on my discussion with managers, why this happened, they said, well, the existing players on the market can't achieve quality standards and can provide a good packaged certified product at the right time, right and required volumes. So this made me serious thing to bring on a national market the best of this industry and to become one of a rabbit meat market leader in Moldova by 2023. So just a couple of seconds video to finish and then continue. Right, so as I said, the business concept is about rabbit breeding. So Killer Farm is designed as a complex with full production cycle from laboratory females insemination to full packet finished product. A business with non-waste production strategy, which actually is coming to cut main cost of a complex and open more ways for business monetization. So to conquer the market, Killer project has involved the strategy to diversify the product range. So during the first 5 years of project running, I planned at least 8 different directions for rabbit meat production, from raw chilled meat to ready menus, which needs only to send to the oven. So the same vision being kept for the rest of secondary products, from clothing making from rabbit skin to feed production or biofertilizer production from rabbit manure, etc. So in the Republic of Moldova, the rabbit breeding is still on very low development level. From 100,000 tons per year of meat market, rabbit meat represents less than 1%. So despite this, rabbit meat consumption culture is very strong in the country. So Killer Farm actually is coming to strengthen this culture and give consumer the choice to have this dietetic food on their table on a daily basis. So this is coming to be our company's mission. So the reason of low development is in Killer's main competitors, of which only Vamprim is better developed with modern strategy, but it has only 30,000 profit a year. So it is still small. And a very important update this year, Van Prim expand their production units, which is a clear indicator of product demand, of positive industry trend, and actually that answer the question in this crisis period: is this business stress resistant? So Urkila Farm is visualized on 3 development stages. So now stage we're speaking about is to become one of Moldavian leaders brands. In 10 years to become to expand on a European level, and in 20 years to have a worldwide expansion. So as quick example how we're going to do this is that from second stage of development is planning to open Urkila coffee shops, where the main concept is to have menus on Healthy Rabbits product menus and live bunnies to enjoy. So where anyone can feed or make a picture with a bunny or buy anyone they like with cage and food bag. So this is the target is to expand this on worldwide. So Urkila marketing plan is based on social media active users. So tools to conquer the target audience, cooking shows on YouTube with rabbit meat thematic festivals, organization, advertising in supermarkets or social media like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So all these will be made to conquer and attract the Urkila Farm target audience. Right. Urkila project required almost 5 million euros investment. This needs to physically build the farm. So equipment acquisition and first month of operational activity. After the farm is built, the whole constructed farm will serve as a guarantee for investor, as this investment security is a main factor in Urkila partnership with the investor. Right. So here are some main costs, monthly costs, which are going to be payroll, main ones, payroll, agriculture, taxes, and investment payback. Right, so revenues. Urkila revenues are good enough to get lifelong dividends from approximately 32% of a project, of a profit of a project. So, but this is the only medium calculation. As example, we don't take in consideration Urkila Tailor House, which is going to make clothing articles, which is going to add up to 40% on presented revenues. So this is a strategic planning for the future of the project. Right, and at the end, you have a summary of a project, but let me finish with the greatest Henry Ford words, which say any society is built on cultivation, production, and transportation. So if agriculture, production, and transportation will survive, then the world can get over any economic or social shakeup. So Urkila Farm perfectly fits his great words, and I'm confident in the project future success. So thank you for your time and questions. I don't know, is 10 minutes enough?
Thank you very much. It's 9 minutes and 20 seconds, so bravo.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect control timing.
Okay, questions? Yes, Christina.
Hi, thank you very much, Gorgia, for the presentation. From what I've seen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you again for the presentation. And I have the impression you put quite a lot thoughts in the business development part and the strategy. Big compliment on this part. I liked it. The biggest concern I do have on my side is the demand and the social aspects on that kind of business. I was born and raised in the Ukraine, and in eastern of Europe, to eat rabbit is absolutely like a normal demand. Everybody is doing it. And I don't doubt for a second that you will succeed in this market. My concern is regarding the growth of your business to Europe, especially when you see now everybody is going anti-meat, meat-free burgers, everything meat-free. And especially here in Western Europe, I have been living for 20 years in different countries in Western Europe. People have a very, very high handicap to buy and to eat rabbits. I just doubt, and I'm wondering, did you do a research on demand in Western Europe when you are about to grow?
Yes, actually this project is basically for country, for Moldova. So on Moldova, I can make you sure the demand of this project is very high. I know the culture. I'm coming from there. I know the culture, and everyone is eating meat, rabbit meat. Despite this, unfortunately, I can't show you on a picture, but on events, if you see on the tables, it's everything meat, and rabbit meat is main product they're requiring for this. So yeah,
exactly what I said. I know it from Eastern countries. It's really very common. It's very welcomed on the table. One of your slides and your strategy for the growth is to go to Europe, and I just wondering, how do you want to manage it when in Europe nobody wants to eat meat anymore at all? Not even pigs and cows. So what do we do with the rabbits?
Yeah, well, the expansion is to expand not whole business. It's to expand, as I said, coffee shops, where the know-how is to have live bunnies where anyone can enjoy live bunny, can food it. I guess kids will be most happy to go in such a coffee shops to see live rabbits and to enjoy the time there. So expansion actually is concentrated on
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, on Eastern Europe, and only some directions to expand all around the world.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Jean-Luc, you have a question?
Yeah, I think the last response was a bit confusing, because either you go to meat market or you go to pet market. But you know, if you talk a bit about two, it's a bit it's a mixed message I get there. But I wanted to go back to the kind of, if you look at it from a food production point of view, let's say I agree with what Christina said. For your go-to-market strategy, you need to figure out the countries where this type of food is eaten and which one's not. In France and Italy, it's not the problem. We eat rabbits, quite a lot. But now I think the important question is regarding the business. It looks pretty much as a traditional business, and let's say the investment vehicle that is best suited will depend also on the growth potential. And when it comes to the growth potential, then I think there's some arguments that I see we're missing. For instance, there's different angles to take. That there is a global trends anti-food, but there's also other trends which are related to two things, which I think are quite essential. One is food traceability. You didn't say anything about the kind of the supply chain aspects. And the second thing is also there is kind of a food security question. So for instance, today, a lot of, in the same way as you look at farming, vertical farming, and ways to create food security on the vegetables, there's also a question, okay, what is more effective and least environmentally polluting ways to produce meat? So for instance, ostrich farms are emerging because they're kind of lowest or max production of meat per you know, square of a. So how does the kind of the rabbit, where does that sit, and how is your, let's say, how is your type of farm fitting into these you know, kind of global trends that will help us understand whether it's a very localized business or whether it's something that has growth for potential? I didn't get answers to these type of questions.
Well, first of all, the security of meat, we're going to have a certified rabbit slaughterhouse. So this does mean we're going to get the high standards of.
No, that's not that's not what I meant. What I meant is that there's a global trend when it comes to food security because of the fragility of supply chains. So people want to grow more locally and produce more locally. And then the question is about, can you do that efficiently, more efficiently than in other ways? That was my question.
Yeah, actually, we get involved. Well, this concept is for local market, for country, but the main thing we'll try to do is to cut the cost for production. So this does mean we're going to have biogas plants on a complex to have a solution for ecology problems, and this is going to give us to cut the cost for electricity, for heat farm, and again, another one is feed production. We're going to produce our own feed production for rabbits, because rabbits quite sensibility on what they're eating and drinking. So all these things are already developed for this farm and are going to be implemented during the project is built. So I had a consultation from already existing farms, which they consulted to how to do it better and to get the maximum on high quality and of the project.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are you good, Jean-Luc?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Dalal messaged me as well that she has a question.
Yes, Dr. Dalal.
Yeah, thank you, George. That was really interesting. I'm very happy to hear from a food tech startup. And definitely, you know, from the sort of the rabbit category, this is, you know, in terms of nutrition, it's a more lean meat. So I really commend you on trying to provide healthier options for Eastern and Western Europe. I definitely am in alliance with, you know, Christina and Jean-Luc in terms of, you know, let's say global trends. Everyone is focused around sustainability and of course, moving away from animal protein to more, let's say, alternative protein sources. So I think not really a question, but I would rather give you some words of advice. So something that's very common now is really we call it the feed to food ratio. So let's say animals such as beef, lamb, you know, mutton, or those kind of meats that are derived from those animal sources have, let's say, very poor feed to food ratios. And I think for rabbits, you really don't have that much data. So I would say really try to focus on that in your investor pitch, you know, for investors to really understand that category. Another thing, of course, with the feed itself, there are very unique ways where you utilize, let's say, innovative ingredients to kind of reduce, let's say, the CO2 emissions from the animal itself. So if you have, for instance, in Australia, they're using microalgae to end the animal feed for like, let's say, cows, and that's able to reduce, like they're able to kind of show that reduces methane emissions. So really try to show how your farm has, let's say, sustainability and let's say embedded into it from every aspect, like from the feed to food, from, you know, the feed itself, and then of course you can move further into sort of we call it like the humanely raised, humanely slaughtered certifications. So like definitely there are a lot of opportunities for this space. I'm very interested at sort of the price points, and of course you know, in terms of the rabbit itself, it reproduces very quickly in comparison to other livestock. So if you're able to kind of showcase the differences, you know, and show that rabbit kind of trumps everything else, I think that will be a very unique proposition. So wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I guess I have a lot more information, but I'm able to give you offline.
Sure.
So,
Thank you, George.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
Alexandre
Thank you, George.
has a
Thank you.
question.
Yes, yes, Alexandre.
Small question, which is totally aligned with Katrina, Jean-Luc, and Dalal. Straight question: what is your target in terms of price per kilo?
€4.5 per kilo.
Ex-work Macedonia, right?
Moldova.
Euro.
Moldova.
Moldova, yeah.
Okay, ex-work Moldova, 4.5 per kilo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much. So round of
Well
applause
done,
for
George.
George. Very well
Thank
done,
you so
George.
much. Thank you for your time.
Well done. I didn't even have to intervene and help out anyway.
No,
Okay.
I was very impressed. He did extremely well.
Yes,
He did his
and good on
homework.
time as well. Okay,
Yes.
so next we've got Dua from Honeywell.
Honeywell, Dua. Is Dua
Yeah.
around?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
She's
Yes.
here. Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
All right. Just a minute. I'll share my screen.
7 minutes, Munir, or 6? What is
6 minutes.
6 minutes? Okay.
The stage is yours, Dua.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Dua. Thank you for having us today, Munir and everyone. And I'm very excited to tell you about Anivel. So I'm the co-founder of Anivel, an e-commerce solution in the 2 largest countries in Africa, Algeria and Sudan. So what problems are we trying to solve here? So despite the growing demand for an online marketplace in Sudan and Algeria, e-commerce continues to face several challenges like lack of trust, poor delivery, and poor payment infrastructure. In addition, the mobile penetration rate is highly under-leveraged. So both countries have witnessed improved internet access, but there's very little online purchases. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the need for innovative ways in retail in particular. So local goods became scarce due to lockdown and travel restrictions created a shortage of foreign products. As a result, online transactions have increased, especially in Algeria, we've seen that. So what is the solution that we're trying to bring here? So the key to win the massive consumer pool in Africa is trust and honesty. A brand that wins them over can thrive in the market for decades to come. And Anivel will allow buyers in Sudan and Algeria to purchase quality products, and that includes consumables, it includes electronics, and those will be from partners in the UAE free zone area. And the second part is that locally made goods by SMEs in Sudan and Algeria through the platform. So SMEs through our platform will have the opportunity to reach a larger consumer base and establish trust with customers. Buyers can also pay via cash on delivery or card. So with Anivel, it has the potential also to create jobs and contribute to GDP growth of both countries. Now, the platform is powered by a secured mobile application and a website that are updated regularly. We have a secured payment gateway that will be integrated to allow online payments. And we source goods from UAE to Algeria and Sudan, then inspect them in the warehouse and list them on the platform for sale. We also will have an in-house delivery team that will handle the logistics. So our business model is dependent on a very robust pricing system, and that takes into consideration the VAT and import duty. The final product on our platform is priced at 10 to 45% markup, and then the final price will cover the cost of goods sold and other costs. So talking about the strategy, our approach is that we'll attract users and encourage use of the platform through a 3-pronged strategy. So first, Anivel will offer unique products by staying updated with trends. And then the second is that Anivel will offer users multiple points of entry. So we also have a medium-term plan to actually adopt USSD technology. And third is that we will use online marketing and promotions. So we envision that our product launch cycle will have 3 phases. design, testing, and evaluation. So that with the first and second phase, that will allow us to actually test the products and evaluate the consumer's behavior. And then we will launch the final version with the updated products and prices. So in terms of the competitors, most e-commerce companies in Sudan and Algeria today do not really offer high quality products for an affordable price. So Sudan has actually two major players, and both of them have limited products available. While as in Algeria, there is Jumia, and their average price of products is around $350 with a delivery timeline of 5 to 7 days, and that's through outsourced delivery. And our competitive advantage here is that we are set to become the leading e-commerce platform in both countries that not only offers unique products, but also quick delivery timeline, and that's of 2 days maximum with reliable in-house logistics team. And we will also thirdly vet the products listed on the platform. So talking about the team, I'm here and my partner, Samia, we both founded Honeywell. So we are like a strong and diverse team with the relevant domain experience, and that will take this project forward. And we also have brought in a consultant and advisor named Suleiman, who has a vast knowledge and experience in the African market. We're very passionate about this project. Both Sami and I actually come from Africa, and specifically Algeria and Sudan. So in terms of the financials, the net revenue over the next 5 years is expected to reach approximately $1.8 million. We assume that there will be an average markdown of 10% on the product prices as a result of the high forex fluctuation rate. So the business is profitable, as EBITDA and net profit margin is projected to be by 2025 to be 27.4% and 16% respectively. So we plan to build the platforms in the remainder of 2020 and start the social media campaign. This is now actually underway as we are working with a company on developing our website and mobile application. We also expect to fully launch operations in Q1 2021. And we also, as a future plan, we aim to enter other North African countries in the next 3 to 5 years. So with Univel, we're actually seeking to raise $405,000 in exchange of 20% stake in the business. 75% will be allocated for cost of goods sold and marketing. And the return on investment in the next 5 years will be approximately 21%. So let's partner to transform the e-commerce sector in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dua.
Thank you, Dua.
All right. Thank you. Well done. Questions?
Our advisors, investors, show yourself, please, if you have any questions for
Christina
Dua.
wants.
Christina.
Let's kick off. So what you are doing, first of all, big compliment for your presentation. I really liked it in terms of structure and everything. So you touched based on the most important topics. I really appreciate it. My question is more regards of the business itself, business case. So what you are doing, I'm not from the area, so please bear with me. You are providing a simple e-commerce platform. What do you think does make you a startup? What do you make unique? What do you make different? Because you're saying like your providers and suppliers and SMEs don't provide products for a durable price, right? At the same time, you say you will make it happen. So what do you do differently?
So what we will do differently here is that we have we're going to offer unique products, and we have multiple points of access. So we will have two ways where we will sell the product. We'll sell it through SMEs. We'll provide them the platform so that they can promote their products through it. And then another way is that we're providing it from free zone. So we're able that way to provide quality products with a very affordable price. And another way that we'll do this is we will have an advantage on delivery times, because we will be we'll ship the products from UAE free zone area to both countries, and we'll have them available on our warehouses. So we'll have we're going to have operations in both countries, like locally, and that way we'll have fast delivery. And another thing that we're providing here is that we're allowing our consumers to actually buy through either cash on delivery and card payment. So what makes us unique from others is that the delivery time and as well as vetted products, and we're offering unique products, and we're going to test that through the first the first point of entry to the market. We're going to test products, and we're going to see how that works, and we're going to engage the consumers, have their opinions, and move that forward, drive it, and update the platform.
Makes sense. And what is the maturity of your platform, of your product as per now? I might have missed it. So you have an MVP. Do you have a ready product? Are you ready to launch?
Actually, we have now currently engaged a company, and the developers are working on the website. As soon as we have finalized the website, this is the stage that we're at right now. As soon as we finalize the website, then we're going to work with them as well to create the mobile application.
Okay, just one note from my side. One of my companies are producing boxes for deliveries of fish and fresh foods, and they have a patent on it, and it's a brilliant solution which you might want to consider when you are later in progress with your business. Just came to my mind, completely off the topic with advisory. Okay.
All right. Well, that would be great to find out more about that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think Jean-Luc has raised his hand. Jean-Luc, show yourself.
You're muted though. So you have
I need to unmute. Yeah. There's two fundamental questions I have, and they're related to some of the problems you raised at the beginning. One is related to the difficulty to get foreign products into, let's say, Sudan, for instance. And one of the issues is the issue with the currency, right? Currency fluctuation. So how do you make the unit economics work, and how do you, how can you make sure that you basically can make this profitable? Because there might be currency changes on some of the goods you want to import. That's one thing. The other thing is more related to the delivery. You also mentioned that today there's issues with delivery. And sometimes that, in some places this is related to the difficulty to find the right place. And if that's the case, how do you solving these issues? So one is more a question related to the market dynamic itself, and how how can you have enough confidence in the projections because of the a currency issue. And the other one is, how do you deal with the delivery part more specifically to ensure the delivery times?
Okay. So basically, in terms of the fluctuation rate, when we have engaged the consultant, so both Sami and I, we don't come from a financial background, so we have engaged the consultant, and based on our studies on both markets, Sudan and Algeria, we are very much aware, and we took that into consideration while doing the financial planning. So we projected, and we put we accounted for those fluctuations, and
Right. So let me maybe ask a follow-up question. Is that why you're taking the 50-60% type of margin to kind of cope with these shorter fluctuations? Is that the
yes.
Is that the background? Yeah.
Yes. So we assumed an average markdown of 10% on the product prices, and we accounted that mainly for the high forex fluctuation rate. So that's I hope that answers the first part.
Yeah.
As well, but so in terms of the delivery, so we are going to, that's one of the unique approaches that we're bringing that we don't see happening much with the other players in the regions, is in the country, sorry, is that we are going to actually have our own logistics team. So we're going to have our own team who will be available to deliver at any point in time whenever a delivery is required. Which whereas with our competitors, we saw that they are using third party, and they are actually doing it outsourced. So that causes them not to have full control of the logistics. So that is one thing that we're planning to actually have in our operations. I hope that answers the second part.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, Alexandra, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Thank you for the presentation. I would have a question basically related to the business itself. Taking into consideration that the two countries you mentioned to start the business, Sudan and Algeria, you know, I used to live myself 10 years in Africa, so I'm familiar with these markets. And for example, the case of Algeria is well known, you know, I mean, it's not, it seems to be a free economy, but it's not. Everybody knows that in this part of the world, and especially Algeria and Sudan, business is usually run by either big families, either big importators, either big governments. Algeria is well known for generals. I can tell you that myself, I'm partner in the French Thomson company. We invested 2 years ago in Thomson, the electronics company, and you can go to Algeria, you will never find a Thomson laptop or computer there. Because of the record, we have been advised from the beginning that the IT sectors and computers was run by a big general and his family, and he was the agent of brand like Samsung, Apple, and all these things. And nobody can enter any containers of computers without him being partner, basically. So I know how does it work in these kind of countries. You know, usually if you want to import things, either normal import trading or through digital, then people says, okay, but you want to import these products, you have to deal with this company. You want to import this product, you have to take this one as a partner. How you will tackle this inconvenience, which is a reality there?
That's 100%, and that's one of the areas that we actually are working on now. We are looking at you know, the country, like specialists who are within the country, and we have our contacts actually both in Sudan and Algeria. And through our contacts, we have found that there is a need to actually have a person in both countries available separately, who will handle the, you know, the shipping and all of the. We understand that there are, like, you know, in countries, especially in Africa and the whole region, that is a concern actually. So the way that we're going to tackle that is that we're going to have people responsible in each country to actually have the right connections in place. And we have spoken to a few of them actually. So that will be the first part that we will, you know, focus on bringing into the business.
Okay, so it means in your structure, in your shareholder structure, you will have to integrate these people as partner?
So they will not be necessarily partners. We're going to have them part of the team. So we're going to have them part of the team, partnering with the you know, they have their connections. So the ones that we have contacted already have their connections. So they have been in that in that field for a long time, and they are well aware of you know, what are the requirements, what needs to happen, and that will be sort of that's where we will be able to, you know, have partnerships in place and establish the agreements as a head start. But that is something that we are working on, like today and in the current time being. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, anybody else?
Well, for the sake of time, I would believe we should give a round of applause to the presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
And move on to our startup number 3, which is a travel tech this time. So I think Ahmed, Trip Stories.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. How are you, Ahmed?
I'm good, man. How are you?
How are you, Munir?
Okay, good luck to you guys. You sound very energetic.
Smiley. We're excited.
Big smile on your face. And 7 minutes for Trip Store.
Thank you. Right. So my name is Akil Ahmed. I'm the co-founder of TripX2s, and this is Mr. Feroz, co-founder. Right. We are an in-destination platform to book tours, activities, and local experiences. We are based in Dubai. So back in 2017, we started off TripX2s as a platform to sell tour packages to travelers. But when we were selling tour packages, we understood there was a problem that we encountered, which was travelers didn't spend much time in experiencing the city, but they spend more in experiencing flights and hotels. They spend more money on flights and hotels. So since they wanted to experience cities, they wanted to book tours and activities. We found the problem was experiences in general, which were tours and activities, are hard to discover and book online, even though there are markets that has been filled, or the gaps that has been filled. There is a wave of Middle East and Indian travelers who don't book experiences on demand. When you book with tour operators, the direct prices are always high. So you might spend way more than your spending budget. And due to the limited technology of tour operators and the limited technology of other booking platforms, instant booking confirmation is still limited. So when you book with other booking platforms which are not established, usually you don't get the booking confirmation straight away. So in order to solve these problems, we came up with a solution to provide a platform for travelers to book things to do in cities. When I talk about things to do, it can be tours and activities, it can be food and dining, it can be spa. So any things to do in destination. The user interface and the user experience of the platform has been designed specifically for travelers so that they can book within one minute. And we connect directly with the tour operators to provide highly competitive prices for travelers, and with instant booking confirmation for travelers, where we fill a connectivity gap between us and the tour operator. So I'm just going to show you a short video on our product. So I would like to ask you to stay tuned and watch this. So what you saw right now is the product market fit of Tripex Tours. So we have an MVP that is a website that has integrated all the inventories, all the tours and activities that we have implemented. We have a checkout payment gateway as well. So this is a product market fit that we're going to launch this month end or the next month. So moving on to the market size of tours and activities. So tours and activities is in general a $250 billion market, where at least on an average 15% of the bookings of tours and activities are made offline. When it comes to the service addressable market, it's a 44 to 50 billion market. And we believe that when we are serving the unserved market of tours and activities, we'll be able to obtain at least $50 million in the short term.
The business model that we follow is an aggregate business model. So we have the 20% of profit margin from the tour operator's net price, and then we distribute on our platform. So back in 2019, over the year, we were able to achieve 30,000 plus bookings, and that was with an AED of 3.1 million in revenue. So we had a destination Dubai and Abu Dhabi back in 2019. And we also hold an exclusive partnership with one of the top key tour operators in Dubai, which is Majid Al Futtaim, Expo 2020, At the Top, Big Bus Tours, Miraz, and much more. Moving on to the marketing and growth strategy. So free independent travelers is our target customers. And we are scaling up to new market, which is our niche market, which is KSA, UK, EU region, USA, and India. And we are also launching to another 7 cities, which includes London, Singapore, Paris, Amsterdam, New York, and much more. And in 2019, we were holding 80.7% of new visitors and 19.3% of returning visitors, which is quite less. But we are also coming with a new strategy of holding these customers as a customer retention program by giving cash back and other loyalty programs. So we hold these customers back in, and moving on, the returning visitor will be slightly increasing. And we also, in the same way, we will be increasing the collection of tours and activities and other experiences in the platform, so we can acquire more number of visitors to the platform. And we use a marketing channel, which is paid advertising, which include Google, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And we use a remarketing tools, and we use a brand marketing, we use influence marketing, content marketing, search engine optimization, email marketing, etc. So competition. So on-demand transportation focused in the Middle East region, faster checkout within 30 seconds of time is how we stand out from our competitors. And we have a dedicated hub for live inventory that makes a great connection between the tour operators and us to have a great convenience in having the tour booked for the customers as last minute as possible. Yeah. So to crack all these competitors that we have right now, so we have our in-house team using the latest technology to build our platform. So that will definitely do not have any block to enhance the platform however we want. And we also help our tour operators because the tour operators are not tech savvy and they are not advanced in technology, or some of the tour operators are not known in the market. So we help the tour operators building a dashboard for them. So there will be a great connectivity between us and the tour operators, as well as we are helping more tour operators come to the market. So we can definitely increase the number of tours and experiences that we have on the platform. And we also make sure that we pre-screen all the tour operators coming to our dashboard to make sure our travelers get the best out of it. So we wanted to make sure all the tours and activities available in the platform are exclusively handpicked for any travel customers are coming to the platform. And any tours and activities or any local experiences on the platform is 15 to 20% lesser than the actual cost of that particular experience. And we also provide e-tickets for the travelers to get an easy access to the venue. Moving on.
So we are a team of four co-founders. We are actually family members. We are highly experienced in the travel industry, and our co-founder and director has been in Dubai for the past 30 years and knows the pulse of the city. So that actually helped us to enter the city and enter the market and gain an amazing traction back in 2019. Moving on to our team. So we have team members based in Dubai and in India as well. So we have teams across divisions such as marketing and tech. So we have a lead front-end developer, we have a lead back-end developer, we have a lead UI UX designer, and we have a lead for customer acquisition as well, who has been who has an experience in the tours and activities industry. So moving on to the financial planning. So what we are projecting right now is an organic growth, and we are expecting our sales volume to come back to the pre-COVID levels. And as we have new cities on the platform and newer target markets, we'll be able to achieve the growth that we are projecting right now. Since online booking for tours and activities are increasing at a 9 to 11% and at an annual growth, it really helps us in terms of sales and capturing the market share. So when we are tapping the untapped markets of tours and activities, we'll be able to grow at a very good growth rate moving forward. And keeping the cost in check, when I talk about the cost, it is a marketing expense and the other expenses. We have made it carefully so that we can track each expenses and we can track each.
Okay, can you guys move to the investment ask, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the investment. So we're seeking $2 million, and we actually bootstrapped since the start to actually build the platform the travelers really want. The percentage of investment will be 40% of the investment will be deployed in working capital, 35% in new hiring, and 25% in marketing. Our milestones for the next 12 to 18 months are launching a mobile app, expanding to other cities across US, Asia, and Europe, and firing up marketing to acquire more travelers and hire key roles. So in overall, we're a great team who are very passionate, and we're very young. So we're not scared of failing. We made mistakes, and we've learned from the mistakes, and we are moving forward. We are entering a very good market that has a very good potential in future, and we have had a significant traction back in 2019, and we're raising $2 million. Thank you, everyone. We'll be ready to take any questions that we have.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Akhil. We have a question from Mike Hardcastle, one of our investors. Sure. Please, Mike.
Hi, yes, hi. How are you doing? So I already have 3 companies in this sector. I've invested in 3 companies in various territories. And pre-COVID, you have a very valid business proposition, has a great chance of success. post-COVID, the world's changed.
Yeah.
Business travel's dead. Business travel subsidizes domestic travel or leisure travel. Leisure travel will become significantly more expensive and become more elitist. The market is going to shrink dramatically, and the existing players that are already incumbents in that market will be very aggressive to retain their business. All three of my companies are merging together and are totally pivoting. They are going into virtual travel services, things like your virtual travel assistant, so you can actually book a local in a country you're interested in, and they will take you on a one-to-one session, and they will actually go with a mobile phone and wander around, and you can direct them where you want them to go, and they'll show you the sites. They're turning shops, traditional travel agent shops, into virtual reality travel experiences, and various other things that those are things that have already happened, and we're exploring several patented virtual travel options.
Right.
My suggestion to you is pivot, because it was a valid market before COVID. Now it's a shrunken, when it returns, it will be a shrunken, very aggressive, very difficult market to get into, and a much more restricted market. But the options, this is where technology comes in. This is an online conference. We're experiencing the world in a much more virtual way.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, get in contact with me through Munir or however it works, and I can give you some more advice or put you in contact if you wish to change your business model.
Yeah, right. One point I would like to add to you is what you said is very valuable to us, and we have had a look at the virtual experiences as well. But having a look at the traveler behavior, or a basic human behavior, is that traveling is basically a need that we all need, because at the end of the day, we need to explore, we need to go to a new place, or we need to go to a restaurant, or we need to go to a new city. It all depends on what we want, right? So we believe that travel is going to come back, because that's what when we spoke to our customers as well, who decided to cancel their trips, they said they would love to travel, but they can't travel. It's not an option now. But when we come to possible positive scenarios in the market, where we're getting a vaccine, where we're going back to the normal again, we are seeing, at least in the Middle East and Indian market, we are seeing, at least in the year of 2021, there would be some sort of bounce back, a good bounce back when it comes to traveling. So that is what we have right now. And what you told is absolutely right, because the world we have everything virtually experienced right now. So it would be great to have a call with you, a one-to-one session on discussing it further.
More about the insights.
We'll check it further. We'll check it further, guys. We'll make sure we'll arrange this after the event is done.
Christina has a question.
Christina.
Yeah, I can just confirm with Mike. I have one of that kind of companies in my portfolio as well. Pre-coronavirus and all this madness, it was brilliant, and they're very, very much in the product. And they launched it last year, 1.5 years ago. And in Europe, the market is quite full, first thing. The second thing is now after COVID, it's drastically changed. So I would just highly recommend grab the opportunity which Mike offered you. Go on the call with him and just try to evolve your business model. I think this would be the most critical part for you to succeed. See where are there other opportunities. And when you're saying post-COVID, everybody wants to travel, keep in mind we are all habitual beings. Yeah. Now we are strive to go for travel, but at some point, the mass of the people will get used not to travel, right? So you have really to put this into consideration. You have to provide a future-proof model. When I was you, I would just right now take the phone and call Mike. So.
Right. Yeah, we would love to get on a call with Mike.
Jean-Luc has a question as well. Yes, Jean-Luc.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more a feedback and a tip. And I'm going to give a slightly different spin on what what Mike and Christina said. The problem is really when you pitch like that, and you don't start with explaining how COVID has impacted your business, you don't look serious. And it's not that you have to pivot or not, but the fact that you don't start with that makes people very, very, very concerned that maybe you're not able to look at these type of things that impact your business. So yeah, I agree with them. You need to go back to the drawing board. Now that being said, you also need to take into consideration the very specific efforts that Dubai is doing, and this is where maybe you're missing an opportunity right now, because when you look at how aggressively Emirates Airlines is trying to reopen, there might be opportunities, but you have to rethink that. You have to go back to the drawing board and see also the type of, maybe there's going to be also physical visits, but they will be different. There's going to be a need for more personalized service rather than group offerings. These are the type of changes we'll see. You also need to draw analogies with other industries. Same thing, if you look at the car rental industry, is going more toward long-term rentals rather than short-term rentals. So you need to analyze all these trends and basically come up with your own new reality.
Okay.
Right.
And just one thing, while we are all talking, what you could do, you can just switch it from the travelers to the locals, because there will always be locals in any place, and maybe you just have to put different glasses on and just see how can you adjust to the locals, because we all need to do something still yet, and even more because we can't travel. Right, and what Jaluk just said, you have to put COVID on your slides. You have to make investors understand that you put some thoughts in it, and that you really know how to deal with that, right?
And
just to,
again. Yes.
Yeah, just to agree with that last comment. Absolutely, we're all going to become tourists in our own backyard. We're all going to explore our own local areas much more than we do at the moment. So that's going to be a big part of the market.
That's a huge opportunity. You mentioned it, Akhil, you mentioned it a little bit. You said, oh, in India, and this is already happening. In Pakistan as well, I can tell you, everybody is now traveling domestic because they still cannot travel international. Just a quick piece of advice, some of the countries that you listed, for instance, London and other places that you're adding to your expansion, I wouldn't go there because the travel restrictions are still very, very hard over there. So maybe look at countries which have opened up. So Turkey, Thailand, the countries which are really still welcoming tourists. So it's a trick that way as well, maybe.
We are
just covering the Asian region.
When you said about local market, we have actually started offering staycations to the local people in UAE right now. And just to say, we've got a good impression on that, and we are working more on the availability and the technological side of having the live availability from the hotel direct to our platform to offer more staycation offers to the local people. So we are working on those kind of things as well. And I mean, the situation is very dynamic right now, so we're trying our best to actually adapt to the changes that is occurring in the market.
And I think Heike wants to say something.
Yes,
Heike, please go ahead.
Yeah, and actually what Christina already said, and I definitely feel like, for example, here in UAE, but also in Saudi, the Groupon is a big part. But the downfall of Groupon, for example, is that you can't book immediately. So this is where you can tie up with all these partners which Groupon has, and connect them, and then you can book directly, like your massage and your like manicure, pedicure, whatever, or like desert safari. And I think that is definitely an opportunity, because I know it's here very, very strong. And all my friends book on Groupon. So it is, I to a certain degree, I agree with Mike, but if you shouldn't just focus on the travelers, because the local market is so strong, and especially if you see, for example, Saudi is very much underdeveloped, or even Kuwait or Qatar. So they don't have these kind of offers where you connect the spas and and see if they have availability, and then you can, like, for example, for me, sometimes I need an immediate like manicure pedicure, and then I have to call all the different spas to see where there's an availability. But if you would have this kind of app where I could just check, okay, what is close to me and where is availability, and maybe I'm lucky and I get even a discount. So I think that is a huge potential, and definitely worth to look.
Thank you. We'll definitely look into that.
Okay, Alexandra, did you want to say something?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think pretty much things has been told. I have a little bit different lecture because for us, you know, we took an asset, we acquired an private aviation company just at the beginning of the COVID last year. I mean, end of 2019. And the COVID, in fact, for us has been highly benefits because we had an immediate boom on the request of jets, both for corporate, both for groups, because the industry is changing. Now you see a lot of friends together or families, you know, they say, okay, they call, okay, how much is the jet for this destination to this destination? And they share seats. Even some private customer called us and say, okay, I want to go tomorrow from, let's say, London to XYZ. Could you have a seat? Could you ask the client if he's willing to share the flights? So yeah, if I could have later on a discussion with you, because for us, I'm telling you, I agree with all the other panelists, what they say. COVID has hurt definitely the traveling world and people are less traveling. But for us, it has been a complete reverse experience. I mean, we had the, hello?
Yeah.
Hello, line cut.
You're back.
It's back. Okay, it's back. Yeah, for us it was a complete reversed experience. You know, we had suddenly like a boom of travelers who wanted, because especially in the private industry, that you are allowed to travel. You know, even when Saudi Arabia was completely locked down and Dubai was locked down, we were able to take off and bring out people through private jets. Even now for the US, you can bring Americans to Europe, Europe to America if it's through private jets. So there is still a big volume on this.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you look, I don't know who were talking about the example of London. London is the right example because it's, let's say, the massive hub of private aviation in Europe. And you can find it on Google in the middle of the pandemic where everything was locked down around the world. Suddenly London has in a single day more than 400 jets landing in London. Wow. It was in the record on the Sun, on the Times, on every magazine. They said London get on Bloomberg, London get in a single day 400 landing.
Right.
You know, so there is a market. So I'm interested definitely to hook up with you to see what we can do about it.
Yeah, sure.
Another meetings to be set, Samar.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Congratulations to
well done,
Akhil and his partner from Trips Tour.
Okay,
So,
we're going to move very quickly to Mahdi then.
Yes.
Mahdi from DSP.com.
DSP.com.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi, Mahdi.
Hi.
Okay, your voice is very soft, Mahdi.
Soft. You have my...
No, Mahdi, we can't hear you. We can't see you.
No, we can see him. We can see him.
Can we see him?
Yes, but we can't hear him very clearly.
Do you hear me? I'm
very
talking.
soft.
Let me change the headset.
Okay, much better.
Let me change the headset and
yes. Now it works.
Do you have my audio? No.
Yes.
Do you have my audio?
Yes, we have your audio. So Mehdi live
thank you.
From Tehran, from Iran. Please.
Yes.
And you
thank you. Thanks.
What you're holding in your hands? It sounds like you have a. This is your.
This is
creation,
yes. It's a product to channel VoIP solution that I'm going to present this presentation. Let me share my screen to the presentation and start it. Okay. Let me first give you a history.
7 minutes.
Give it 8 and 9 minutes, please. Thank you. As for the history of the open source project, since 1983, there is a movement to produce free and open source operating systems and softwares. And today, Linux operating system is the result of this movement and a lot of other free softwares. And one of those softwares is Asterisk. Asterisk is a software that when installs on a computer, turns it into a communication server, voice over IP phone system. By this system, colleagues in an office could call each other with VoIP phones. But when we want to call external phone lines or PSTN lines, we are in need of some modem-like hardwares that by using DAHD driver, we can connect them to Asterisk. We produce one of those kind of hardwares. This is where, and the name is Eco. Eco2 is an economical solution which connects to PSTN to computer via USB cable. This is the block diagram of our design. As you can see, there is a small microcontroller inside the board and everything is connected to it. And as this microcontroller is cheap and economic, the total solution will be also economic. This microcontroller handles everything. It sends and receives data via USB port, sends and receives audio to telephone interfaces, detect ring signals, connect and disconnect calls, and also indicate phone lines to front panel LEDs. We use 4 open source projects from all over the world, different countries, use them to make this product, and thus it was not developed, all of it, it was not developed by us, and we use a standard package all over the world. Benefits of IPPBX for businesses are, but the most important thing that we are looking for is CRM, which is customer relation management. As in IPPBX systems, calls are passed through computer. We can collect the data of it inside the computer and inside databases, and it's very valuable to have the record of customer call interaction that we have. Okay, now we would like to go into the market. We know that we have 4 kind of business models for startups, but we would like to go into market by recitation of an existing market as a low-cost player. Because of the simple architecture that we use, we think that our solution is cheap and economical. Who are the customers? Small offices, shops, and businesses are customers of this kind of hardware. Distribution channels, there are a lot of VoIP retailers all over. We can ask them to sell this product to customers for us. And for production processes, we have a lot of companies in the world that are producing hardware based on the requirements of the customers. We give them the documents and they produce for us, especially in Shenzhen and China. Okay, now what's the strategy of entering the market? We need to get necessary licenses at first and register this product, intellectual property. Then we need to find VoIP retailers or establish a marketing team to sell the product. Do we have any competitors? Yes. There are a lot of competitors all over the world that sell this kind of products, and I list some of them here. I also find space here to put the annual income of Sangoma company in 2019 and 2018. As in the first line in sales part in 20, they sell 109 million rather than 57 million 2018. Yes. Do we have any competitive advantages? Yes, because our technology is simple and it's based on just only a simple and cheap microcontroller. Our solution is economical and it connects to you the computer via USB port. We can use virtual machines instead of dedicated computer for it. And also no need for external power supply. And for VoIP phones, we can install some soft phones on our mobile sets. And in this way, instead of buying those phones, we just install some phones, and it also decreases the amount of money we are supposed to pay for this kind of systems. And AI solutions also can be developed based on this hardware. ASR, text analyzing, and TTS. By ASR, I mean automatic sound recognition, and by TTS, I text to speech. Me and my friend produced this product, and for financial planning, until PSTN and VoIP solutions are active, we think we can produce and sell this product. We also plan to produce a 4-channel of this product. We find a dedicated microcontroller for it. And also, we would like to invest on AI-based products, our solution, but we ask third parties to do it for us. For investment, I think $300,000 is good enough for everything: accommodation, registering, renting office, starting the business, producing, selling, everything. But in a step-by-step way, getting in the following steps is something, the steps that I think we have planned for it: getting necessary licensing and registering IP, using a limited amount of product, try marketing them, producing more 2-channel boards, and producing 4-channel version of this product. And overall, we have this product, Echo 2, 2-channel IPPX solution, which is based on USB interface. It's possible to produce the 4-channel version of it. It's possible to introduce AI-based solutions based on it. And also the technologies inside Echo 2 can be used to use other hardware modules for microphone arrays, which are very common for human-robot interaction nowadays, sound cards, oscilloscopes, and human presence detection devices. Thank you. Let me show you just another, let me share screen. This is the VMware that I use to connect my hardware to it. Here, as you can see, I put the mouse on it. It writes Atmel Echo 2. I just buy a assign this hardware is a virtual machine. And in this way, there is no use a separate computer for it. We have a, suppose we have a computer in our office, and by VMware, we can easily set up IPPX in our solution. And let me also show you another picture, another screen. Here. Here is the panel, configuration panel of the software. As you can see, this is web-based. It's Elastix, which is a shell that runs Asterisk. We use it for configuration, and when somebody calls us, we first play a greeting and the dial plan, the dial key that the caller pushes. It can be connected to different extensions in the office. Okay, thank you. If you have any question, I'm at your service.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I think we have Mike wants to jump first and ask a question.
Yes, Mike.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Okay, why did you choose Asterix over 3CX?
Asterix is open source. We used to work with it, we know it, and we have some experience of reading the source code of it, and it's very common nowadays. We see that a lot of companies using it.
Okay. And why did you choose VMware over Docker?
VMware, you know, I choose VMware because I use it. Whenever I work, we use just VMware. We have also VirtualBox. VirtualBox is also very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there a market opportunity for you in your territory? Because yeah, we've set up several of these systems and we just don't use them. So we're, you know, I've even got a virtual PBX on my Apple Watch on my phone, and these days, because all calls are free, you have, you know, walkie-talkie on your Apple Watch. Why would you, you know, the need for it certainly in the West is kind of disappearing. It's a bit like fax machines, you know, where fax machines went from being physical things, and then as they were dying, they went virtual, and then they died completely. And that's kind of what's happening with PBXs. But do you see a market opportunity in your territory?
Let me say that nowadays, every business would like to have a website. Every business, every business. And those websites have a contact us page. And in contact us page, those shops write their phone number. It's very, very classy for them that when somebody calls them, PBX first computers the call. It's clear for them. And we see in the market here that every shopping, every business, they are looking for this kind of hardwares because it gives them a modern look.
Okay, but
based on these
you can
requirements.
detach a landline number from a PBX. The landline numbers are not connected to PBXs anymore. Anybody can register any landline number and layer it on any system they want. You don't actually need a phone system.
You know, there are a lot of different markets, but phone markets are also active. I see it in country and also on other countries. Based on the sales reports that I get from Sangoma company, I think that they are selling a lot of VoIP cards. They are selling a lot of products like this, and it is a very active hardware base. And I think it might be successful. Mm-hmm. And as our offer is simple, we give better prices rather than the our competitors. When I asked for the price for products, we see that they are very expensive. But we can give this product with a better price because it's based on, let me show you the inside circuit.
I don't know, we run a 4,000 extension PBX off a Raspberry Pi, which was $35.
What you said?
We run a 4,000 extension PBX off a $35 Raspberry Pi.
Yes, our product is also capable of connecting to Raspberry Pi.
Sorry, that was actually a call on my PBX, ironically, which I never get. Yeah, we run a 4,000 virtual extension PBX off a $35 Raspberry Pi.
Extension, this device connects to PSTN. PSTN lines come and connect to this hardware, and we can define a lot of extensions on.
We have no physical phone lines.
Yes, physical phone lines. 2 physical phone lines come and connect to this hardware.
No, we have none. No,
you have none.
No,
yes.
None. Zero.
No. This device just connects to physical phone lines. To physical phone lines.
No, but I'm saying you don't need physical phone. So we have landline numbers, but there are no physical phone lines. You know, we're in the UK. It's called the 21st Century Network. It was installed by BT. There are no physical landlines anymore.
I don't know about the London,
but what I'm wondering
here...
is if the market for you is different. So physical lines are disappearing. For people that want legacy systems, you can get these virtualized PBXs. But I wonder if your territory, if your market is different.
Yes. I think our market is different because I think that a lot of companies active in our country and in the area. They sell VoIP solutions and they sell VoIP ports that connected to lines. And physical lines brings us ADSL internet. And I think it's it's active here. Those
okay.
Physical. Okay.
So what kind of market do you see in your territory? What's the value of that market?
Yes, as I told, a lot of business would like to have sites, and in their sites they show their phone number, and it's very classy and modern for them. When somebody calls those those phone lines, then computer answers them first. For example, plays a greeting for them and asks them where he or she would like to connect by giving him a dial plan. For example, to connect to sales part, press 1 or press 2, press 3. In this way, these sort of devices give their businesses a classy market, a modern market. And we target that market for our business.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, other questions?
Yes, please. More practically, where is your company registered?
There is no company I'm working for. My boss just produced this product, and we are looking for the to establish a business based on it. We just developed, registering any market yet, any business, any company yet.
Okay, but then it will need a company to be registered to as a vessel for the investment. So where you plan to register it?
I think Dubai is a good idea. My first impression is Dubai because Dubai has a planned hardware production and they get a lot of facilities. And if we can establish our market there, our business there, it would be great. But otherwise, I plan to produce it in my country.
Which is?
Iran.
Okay. And basically, how you want to structure the market, the development? Because if it's Iran, it stays in Iran. If it's Dubai or Gulf, it might be difficult to go in Iran. You know.
No, we come back. We are working in a company. In a year, we come to Dubai and come back 3 or 4 times. I think Iran.
No, coming is okay for quiche and all these things, but working, operating, like for example, my company is registered in Bahrain and we have on board as a partner royalty from Bahrain. So there is no way to put a single dollar in Iranian structure. It's by the law, you know, it's prohibited. You know, circulating individuals, yeah, it's another story, but business-wise, a Saudi company or a Bahraini company cannot be partner or invest in an Iranian company for sure, or even work there or get payment there. Or I mean, it's a reality.
Okay, my first plan is to come to Dubai, and if I have an investment, then I plan to produce the product in China and bring it to Dubai for selling. As Dubai is a hub in the area, we can also plan for export it to other countries. Because
okay, so you will be on a you will be GCC oriented market, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahdi, and a round of applause for him.
Thank you, Mahdi.
Thank you.
Amma, over to you. We're running short of time.
Yes,
so
we're running short of time. So next we've got iSmart Films, a team from Pakistan. Abid, are you here?
Abid.
Yes. Okay, all right, so let's start.
Yes. Hello, everybody. How are you? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, we want to say hello to each and every one of you and thank you for the opportunity that we have here in front of us. My name is Sohail Hashmi. Next to me is the man himself, Mr. Abid Billy, who is the founder of iSmart Films and has been doing this over 2015, where we launched our first film festival. This has been basically self-funded by Mr. Belly as well throughout all these years. We're now going through our second film festival that we're doing this. Just to let you know, it's all about smartphones. So films that are made only on the mobile smartphone is something that we are interested in as far as the whole of Pakistan is concerned. Now, saying that, as far as our festivals are concerned, we have 13 partners, 13 different countries that we do get films from as well for our festival as well. So just to let you know that we are also looking at the international market as we are committed to democratization of cinema, new channels, the drama industry, through supporting the use of smartphones. This has basically given the industry and the people who are not able to make movies, as you know, just pick up a smartphone and make whatever film that they want to make, 5-minute, 10-minute, 1-minute stories and documentaries. So we are basically encouraging a lot of people to be able to do that throughout Pakistan. I'm not going to go through the history of Pakistan, but there could be a love, a hate sort of a relationship of the world, because we have always felt that Pakistan has not been represented in the proper light that it should be. And we want more information to go out of the world about Pakistan and the beauty of Pakistan, people should actually know about this. So this is something that we are very, very concerned about, and we also are interested in other cultures coming into our countries. Now, it's a very affordable sort of a situation to be in as far as people are concerned. With this, we are able to also have smart journalists, people who have smartphones from all of the different parts and the different cities of the countries. I'm sure if you know a little bit about Pakistan's northern areas, you will realize just how beautiful Pakistan is. And of course, we're also trying to deal with the government as well to try and get smart journalists as well to be able to make these small little films so that they can send it out to us. We of course then have our own YouTube channel to be able to move that forward as well. So that is something that we're interested in doing. So first of all, we have the Smartphone Film Festival. People who are interested in doing that, they can do that. Again, I've spoken in a very small amount about the journalism that we are doing, which of course will allow a lot of people to become journalists as well. And here again is an opportunity with iSmart School as well, where we can teach journalism as well. There is of course the iSmart Guide, which of course teaches individuals limited resources to build film, news, television and income through nothing but a smartphone. So it's quite affordable, and it's quite an interesting sort of a proposition, especially for a country like ours. As you can tell, I am quite a patriotic sort of a chappy living here in Pakistan. And of course, Arvind has been at it throughout the years. So basically, there are repeated customer care sort of situations with this, where there are contests, there is also tech, there is display, and there's also support. So we will provide constant support and guidance along with resource at normal price for people at an affordable price, so they can upgrade their process as well, as far as technologies, how to use cameras, and these types of situations are something that we have been doing. And of course, one of the main attractions for that is of course the iPhone Film Festival that we have. Again, we are interested in developing talent, recruitment, annual smartphone festival to keep the spirit of filmmaking with the most limited resources alive and thriving. Apart from all the world, Pakistani filmmakers, when and if given the chance, are very artistic and are very good in what they do. With first of all, the COVID situation, we have understood what is happening not only in Pakistan but also in the rest of the world. And of course, everybody seems to follow America, where the films and the movies are going to be coming out, I think, next year, not now. So there is a huge market as far as Pakistan is concerned, to be able to develop the skills and bring out new amazing mystical stories from Pakistan, and also develop the smart journalists as well, so that more news goes out. As far as this is concerned, I've also mentioned that we have partners from outside, so we're also interested in work coming in from outside as well. So basically, I don't know, Abid, is there something that you'd like to mention there as well? Something that I
basically, I just had one thing that with iSmart Films or with the smartphone filmmaking or smart reporter, we are planning creating employment not only in Pakistan, in the whole world, because since 2015 till now we received 2,600 films, above 2,600 films from 128 countries. And we also got the NOCs from there. So we are uploading their films on our YouTube channel, and we done with them as a revenue sharing basis. Like 70% is the filmmakers and 30% is for iSmart Films. And we also planning to start a YouTube channel for news. So our smart reporters can also earn the same through same revenue model.
Abid, can I quickly urge you to move to the investment ask, please?
Pardon, what do you say?
I'm just suggesting, because we're nearly short on time, we're nearly up. Can you move to your investment request?
What is the investment request?
Investment, basically, right now we, just because of COVID-19, we are just focusing on festival and our all other things like smartphone film school, smartphone online shop and web TV as well. So we hold these projects till November and we are starting inshallah next month. So initially for first, you can say first stage, we need at least 200,000 USD. So we can start the whole entire these things.
It's $200,000 US to start the proceedings.
Okay, all right. And what would it, how would it be?
That's all we need.
Okay. And how would it be utilized?
Could you repeat that again, sorry?
How will that be utilized?
That will be utilized in the various forms we have, as Abid has first said, that it's going to be used for the Smart Film Festival, it's going to be used for the Smartphone Film School, also for the smartphone productions, web, TV and online store. And of course, the building and the training of the smart reporters and filmmakers. So that is how this is going to be utilized.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, questions?
Can you please stop sharing your screen, Abid, and thank you so much. Any questions? Advisors, investors? For Abid Billing, representing iSmart. Yes, Mike, go ahead.
Hi, what's the return on investment?
What's the return on investment? It's a good question.
Okay. Basically, we applied approximately 17 companies who are making different gadgets for smartphone filmmaking. So they are offering 20% commission to give us dealership for Pakistan. So first revenue stream is online shop or is getting distribution of these gadgets. Second revenue stream is film festival. So right now we received 68
can you just give a
from.
Can you just give a percentage or a number and a time frame? It's either a percentage, a number, and a time frame is a typical answer.
Okay. In my opinion, if I get 200,000 USD, so within a year period, we will earn approximately 500,000 USD with the gadgets selling in Pakistan.
No, I don't care what you earn. What do I earn?
Percentage, inko percentage क्या मिलेगा? 20%, 10%.
Okay. So
what's my
you are asking about seed funder, right?
Sorry?
Yeah.
You are asking about the seed funder. Who is investment to what will percentage we will get?
What does the investor get in return? How much or what percentage and over what period of time?
We have two options, either 20% on revenue or 8% equity in company.
Okay, what does that mean? It's either a percentage of my money or a value over a certain amount of time. Over what period of time? What's my return?
As I said that in a year period, we will earn with the gadget selling.
No, what's my return? Not what's your return.
Your return is 20% on the investment.
20% on my investment?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 40,000 back in a year.
Yes.
So I give you 200,000, get 240,000 in a year. What percentage certainty do you have of that?
Sorry, I didn't understand that. Could you repeat that again?
What certainty, what confidence do you have that you can return that?
I'm confident. Okay. Yeah, basically, the distributors of these manufacturers have getting inquiries from Pakistan to purchase these things. They are sending me these inquiries. So just based on these inquiries, I'm calculating.
You can either say, give me a percentage, or you can say high, medium, low, and then if you could justify whatever that answer is.
So,
yeah, the answer I'm looking for is you're very certain I'm going to get that return. You're reasonably certain. You're not entirely certain, and then explain the reason for that degree of certainty.
Okay, can I just quickly insert in Urdu? I think it may be easier. So Abid, basically आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि आप कितना certain हो, कितनी आपको लगता है कि वाकई में आपका ये return आप कर पाओगे उनके पैसे with this return on investment, right? So that's what he's asking. कि कितने certain हो, कितने sure हो आप, ठीक है? कितना भरोसा है आपको कि actually ये होगा और क्यों? तो फिर वो reason पूछ रहे हैं. तो जो आपने बताना शुरू किया था, of course कि आपके पास already requests आ रही हैं, फिर उसको आप elaborate कर सकते हो, कितनी requests आ रही हैं, etc. right?
मैं small उसमें बताऊं कि 2015 में जब हमने ये प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किया था ना, तब पाकिस्तान से सिर्फ हमें एक फिल्म रिसीव हुई थी in the entire year. मगर इस साल हमने सिर्फ 3 महीने में सिर्फ पाकिस्तान से 23 फिल्म्स रिसीव हुई हैं फर्स्ट. दूसरी बात कि गैजेट्स जो हैं वो उस वक्त 2015 में मुझे अमेरिका से इंपोर्ट करने पड़े थे, लेकिन इस वक्त कराची के अंदर through China, not through distributors, approximately 18 to 20 shops in this main market, mobile market we have. So it's growing gradually, smartphone filmmaking and smartphone journalism. Even our TV channels, 28 TV channels, news channels are using a smartphone for news reports. So it's growing day by day. So what we're trying to say, what he's trying to say is that there is a lot of certainty because these gadgets aren't here yet. So he has been specifically contacted. Or he has
By gadgets, you mean iPhones?
Sure.
By gadgets, you mean iPhones?
Not iPhones. They're accessories, filmmaking accessories, the filmmaking accessories.
Okay,
right. And other smartphones.
You're trying to drive the hardware market.
Yeah. Yes.
And so the other piece
yes, one of the things. Yes.
Okay, and the other piece that he mentioned is that when he started this back in 2015, he received just one short film, whereas in 3 months he's received 23 short films, right? So it's obviously the documentary industry is also growing.
Right, I see. So what you're trying to drive technology update or take up in the country.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, in Pakistan. Have you heard of Eva Zubek? Eva Zubek. She's a famous YouTube vlogger, and she loves Pakistan. She appears on your local TV a lot. She has a channel. She promotes your country. She visits an awful lot. You might want to get in contact with her. She's she has a huge audience.
Yeah, she does have a large following. Yeah.
And that's quite possibly the sort of thing she'd want to be your face of, which I think would be very helpful.
Thank you.
So, okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So very quickly, by the way, so just wanted to insert Munir with your permission.
Yes, please.
Abid, you guys may feel free to approach Asad and me from Team Epiphany over here. We'd gladly help you. And Asad has worked with Jami, back in the day. So I think we would be able to help you.
Thank you very much indeed for that. Very kind of you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Other questions?
No other questions?
No. Jean-Luc?
Jean-Luc? No. Alexandre?
Okay.
No. Okay, great. So
okay, all right. So well done, gentlemen.
Well done. And thank you very much, Samar, for facilitating the translation from English to Pakistan.
I should have done it sooner.
And there might be a development opportunity from Epiphany, from actually Samar as a. So guys, Abid will get you in touch with someone after the event is done.
Thank you.
We can take it further.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So without any further ado, let's move on. Let's go to California, US, and let Ahmed from Synthetech present his business.
Hi, Ahmed, you have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Ahmed. Can you unmute yourself and kick in? Ahmed?
Yeah, sorry. It was the little bar shrinks and then disappears for like 10 years.
Go ahead. 7 minutes.
Everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmed Zabi. I am the CEO of Center Health Technologies. We are reducing diabetic amputations in the aging population. I'm going to warn you that the next slide has some gruesome images. So if you have like not that great with certain images, just don't look. Yeah. So this is the problem that we are targeting. This is an example of a grade 2 and a grade 3 diabetic ulcer. By grade 3, it's almost impossible to heal and the patient will lose a limb. So we're targeting grade 2s and below to help reduce and reverse the diabetic foot ulcers pathway and ultimately reduce and eliminate amputations in the aging population. Okay, images are gone, Mike, you're good. In the MENA region, there's about, in 2018, 55 million diabetics, 2.75 million diabetic foot ulcers reported annually. In 2045, that's expected to jump to 108 million diabetics with over 5 million DFUs reported annually. So right now, 1 in 5 patients in the MENA region will get an amputation. That's a 20% amputation rate with about an 80% mortality rate within 5 years. So basically, the amputation is a death sentence for patients with diabetes, specifically with the diabetic foot ulcer. So this is what we've done. We've created our centrifuge system or Center FPU 360 system. We take a small hand liposuction from the patient's abdomen. So this can be done with a pressurized syringe, extract a little bit of fat tissue. We break it down in our device. So by breaking it down, you're basically releasing a lot of these cellular components, these growth factors, these stem cells that are within the fat tissue that can aid in the healing process, but you're breaking down the fat tissue so that you can really inject it through a finer needle. And this is a patented technology. We have various patents, several in the US. We have a bunch of them pending around the world. And then once that broken down fat is complete, we inject it subdermal to the wound and to the peripheral, meaning you north, south, east, and west, 4 points of the wound, and underneath the wounds that can really help aid in the healing process from the inside out. So our business model is really simple. Our Center FPU 360 system, it will be sold at $10,000, and our Adipo chip system is sold at $1,000. Now in the United States, we do have Medicare reimbursement codes that we can fall under. When it comes to the MENA region and any other type of distribution deals that we're looking for, it's just a matter of getting in contact with the health services over there and try to get as many, people involved, the payers, the hospitals, to really bring this device to fruition. And then, as I mentioned, on the intellectual property as well. So the wound care market, at least on the US side, is valued at about $20 billion. Diabetic foot ulcer, or sorry, in the around the world is valued about $20 billion. Diabetic foot ulcer market in the MENA region is valued around $6 billion. And wound dressing, so this is just regular collagen wounds. Think about anything 3M related, the patches, that's valued at around $1 billion. But we're projecting that within the first 6 years of operation, we'd be generating about $100 million in gross revenue. Now, our market strategy is, as I mentioned previously, is the partnership. There's a Mayo Clinic in the Middle East. We also have the Abu Dhabi Health Services, the Emirates Hospital, Kuwait's stem cell facilities. So the goal would be to start off with these local hospitals and then begin to expand our regenerative technology to other places of the MENA region. So competitors, we have debridement. This is just basically the doctor cuts the surface of the skin, allows the blood to seep out. That's supposed to bring new blood and oxygen to the foot. Doesn't work out that much. We have padding and offloading, another thing that the doctor could use. But as you can see, this patient has already received 3 amputations, so it doesn't really do that well. And then you have a cam boot. This is just a big boot that they attach to the foot to alleviate the pressure of the feet. Doesn't work that well. 4 to 6 months course of treatment average for diabetic patients. I know this personally, as my mother has gone through this multiple times. $12,000 at least cost of illness in the MENA region. In the United States, that's actually around $17,000 a patient. And average success rate is around 26%. So imagine being a diabetic, having this, and your doctor saying, hey, we have a 26% chance of anything, you know, that we have working on you. So the goal for us is to bring that number up. So this is how we compete against everyone else. We are a no chemical processing. We're targeting one-time use, whereas everyone else in the market requires multiple use. And we have a cost of about $1,000 per one time versus $1,600, $10,000, or even just the standard of care being $2,000. This is the team. We are biomedical engineers, executives from former medical device companies that have been targeting this problem. We're focused, we're honed in, and the goal is that with this investment, we'd be able to continue pushing through our device into the market. So we're looking to raise a $10 million Series A with a MENA region partner. This would go along with distribution rights. So part of this is on the negotiation of valuation. There's also a distribution deal. $4 million for clinicals. This will get us through regulatory approvals here in the United States. And then a lot of the Middle Eastern regulatory approvals base their approvals off of the US FDA. So the goal would be get it done here, copy and paste it everywhere else. Patents, we have multiple, as I mentioned. Regulatory, these would be filing specific indications for use and getting the regulatory approvals around the world. Product development, this is just getting our device ready for full commercial use. Administrative, hiring and growing, and then sales and marketing. So we've already talked with plastic surgeons and diabetic foot ulcer wound clinics here. So the goal would be to just start generating the sale in the US so that we can show the investor that, hey, this is how, you know, the strategy is working here. And then just a really quick overview with $10 million would be able to equate to what Spiracor and LifeCell did. Spiracor was a negative wound pressure therapy device for diabetic foot ulcers. They sold for an undisclosed amount, but their valuation was well over $100 million. We have a former VP of Spiracor. We have a former VP of Accelerator who's on our board and is currently working with us on our sales and marketing. LifeCell is another type of fat processing device in the US and around the world right now. They were bought by Accelerator for about $1.7 billion, turned around, made about $450 million in revenue, and sold to Allergan for $2.9 billion back in 2016. So the goal for us is that we would try to generate the amount of revenue that would equate to the valuation that, you know, Accelerator bought LifeCell and Allergan bought LifeCell off of Accelerator. So with all of that being said, we're targeting about a $750 million acquisition by year 6 with all of the clinical trials, the clearances, and all of the data and revenue that we project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ahmed. I think the time was perfectly respected.
Yes,
Perfect.
it was. Okay.
Perfectly respected.
Yes, Mike has unmuted.
Mike.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hi. Okay, I have a slight conflict, or I have a couple of conflicts. First of all, my wife is probably the second most senior podiatrist in the UK.
Okay.
She runs the podiatry service for Oxfordshire. My conflict is I'm extremely squeamish, so I couldn't look at your second slide. And she can't tell me about her clinical work or show me any photos from her clinical work, but she does discuss her administrative side.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? The other thing is, as you're probably familiar, in the UK, we have the NHS, which means the concept of assigning money to anything to do with healthcare is alien and evil.
It is horrendous. I know that. Just the same as Medicare.
Yeah. Would you like me to run this past her?
I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to throw out a name, we are working with Dr. David Armstrong. He's like one of the biggest key opinion leaders in the US. I don't know if I'm still sharing my screen. Give me a second.
You say he's in the UK, US or UK?
US.
Oh, okay. She probably doesn't know him, but yeah.
But he's done a lot of like international type things. Like he's a really big name.
I know there's like one guru that I'm awful with names. She keeps on giving me one podiatry guru name that's a guy worldwide, but I never pay attention. So
yeah, so you could toss this by her. He is at USC, Keck School of Medicine here in California. His name is David Armstrong, and you can see his photo right here on the slide.
There is a problem in the UK at the moment because of COVID. They shut down all podiatry services in the UK because the powers that be don't understand that they think podiatry is cutting toenails and all that kind of thing, and it's never has been that. It is critical wound care, and without and sort of looking after, and without that, then there is right now my wife is under a huge amount of pressure because she told them you cannot shut down the podiatry clinics because this is all critical wound care. And now they're opening up. They're saying, well, hold on, people are dying from amputees, and she's saying, well, she can't say I told you so. So she's under an immense amount of pressure at the moment at work, fighting the NHS doesn't involve money, but it does involve politics, and she's getting drowned in politics at the moment. But actually, it does involve money. She actually it is theoretically being run on a commercial business basis, although it isn't because it's all public money. But that's a side issue. But anyway, if you want, I'll run this past her and then maybe connect up.
Perfect. No, I greatly appreciate that.
But as a side, I absolutely would never be an investor from a moral point of view. So that's just to clear that point up. So I would never invest in any medical thing because it's all free.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay,
Mike, I just want to tell you on the medical side, we do have a different application that generates revenue free of insurance companies. So give me a quick second. Let me just. So we are partnered in the United States, at least, with various plastic surgeons to utilize our device for soft tissue filling, breast reconstruction, fat grafting. So this is the payer being the actual customer. So the goal with our device, because you can mince down the fat tissue to such small sizes, you can inject it easily into the face. You don't have to do soft tissue fillers. You don't have to do Juvederm. You don't have to inject Botox. You can use your own fat tissue to help, aid in the aesthetic process of whatever you're doing as well. So we have multiple applications. I understand being finicky on the medical device side, but there's also the veterinary medicine, the cosmetic that we can always discuss later on as well.
Okay. All right. I'll run it past her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. You can stop sharing your screen, Ahmed, and let's go to see our panel for further questions.
Yes, please.
Alexandre, go ahead.
Yes, basically straight to the point. I really want to have a one-to-one session with you because this is really a field we work with a fund from Abu Dhabi, which is in the healthcare fund. So I'm really into this at all. So please, I get your if I can get your teaser, and healthcare is really something hot topics now, actually, especially for the sovereign funds of the Gulf. So it's really something, and we just closed a deal like 2 months ago with someone from Abu Dhabi. So you will be on the top of the list. I'll send a mail after the session.
Definitely.
Okay. We'll connect you with Alexandre.
Thank you, Munir. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Great. Anyone else before we move on to next up?
No, I think everybody's just feeling very happy that there's a follow-up meeting with Ahmed. Okay, so Ahmed, well done, and we're going to jump over.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Great job. And time control was absolutely spot on. So over to you, Samar, for the next startup. I believe it's Nick Grande representing Mina TV.
Nick Grande with Mina TV.
Is he around?
Nick, yes, he is. Yep, there he is.
Stage is yours, Nick.
Thank you very much, guys. And may I say that was an excellent pitch, by the way. I thought it was a really interesting product. So good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned. I'll do my best to make it worth your while. So my name's Nick Grande. I've been a senior executive in the Middle East TV industry for the last 20 years. I've been a successful entrepreneur for the last 12 years, managing over 200 television channels on behalf of regional TV networks in the region, such as in the Middle East region, that is, such as Do, Vodafone, Saudi Telecom. And we could clearly see that the whole market for TV shows was also ripe for disruption. And so 3 years ago, I founded this business, Mina.tv. We are currently, as you can see, in the middle of a raise on eureka.com. You can see full details of our deck, and there's a video there and business model and all that, if you're interested. So firstly, Mina.tv is a B2B digital marketplace. It's not B2C.
Sorry, Nick, do you have a presentation? Because you're not screen sharing.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. There
Okay.
we are. I'll just
Sorry for
do that
interrupting.
now. Classic Zoom error there. Apologies, everybody. So just, if I can just go back, you can all see that now, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, yes, so there's the details on, of the raise itself. So, as I said, Mina.tv is a B2B digital marketplace. Obviously, businesses like Property Finder, Souq.com have been hugely popular with investors because they offer growth through network effects. B2B is traditionally associated with secure revenues and high transaction values, but not necessarily with growth. What Mina.tv is offering is the similar kind of network effects to what you see in the B2C space by connecting up TV and streaming networks with producers and distributors. These are high value transactions, they're intangible assets, and so there's very low logistical overhead. So potentially you're looking at a high revenue, high margin, and high growth company. I mean, in terms of the content marketplace, Netflix spent $15 billion last year. This year, they'll spend over $17 billion. Disney is now one of the 20 most valuable companies in the world. It spent over $28 billion last year. Obviously, you've got Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, AT&T, all getting into the TV business. In the MENA region, which is our focus, Saudi Arabia committed $64 billion to the media industry for their new plans. beIN Sports in Qatar is spending over $1 billion a year on content. NBC last year launched its own studios business. They're now producing for the international market as well as regionally. They're spending 10 times per episode what they used to spend. They have a MENA platform called Shahid, which is making investments into original content. Egypt has its own platform, the streaming platform called Watch It, which it launched around the same time last year. And even telcos like Saudi Telecom, Ooredoo, Etisalat, they're all spending money. I mean, in the case of STC, they're spending millions of dollars a year on original content, not only on acquiring other people's content. So there are around 400 companies buying TV across the whole region. The streaming networks in particular have enormous appetite for content. If you look at like a network like Stars Play, which some of you in the region may have heard of, they offer consumers a portfolio of about 10,000 hours of content. Those shows can cost anything from $500 to $500,000 per hour. So Stars Play have already spent about $200 million. The majority of that was acquiring content rights. On the sell side, as you can see, there are over 6,000 companies in the world offering drama, documentaries, kids shows, movies, and reality shows. And they can basically sell the same product market by market. And within those markets, each rights window is separately valued. So you can be selling VOD rights separately from pay TV, separately from free TV. And in MENA, you might be selling the same rights in Egypt, in Levant, and so forth. About 2,000 of those producer distributors use trade fairs regularly. They typically are spending a minimum of 30,000 a year, upwards to $500 million a year in trade show expenditure. So there's a lot of marketing money being spent by the content producers and distributors to reach the buyers. In MENA, there's a challenge for them though, because they find it hard to locate the buyers in the first place. They're spread across a lot of countries, all over the region. There's language barriers with those buyers as well. Probably people don't realize it, but more than half the buyers in the region don't actually speak English. Then if they can negotiate a deal, payment and delivery of content aren't always aligned. Sometimes it's not clear whether a rights owner actually owns the rights for the shows. And perhaps the other interesting thing with the growth of streaming networks, many streaming networks don't even know how to buy content. They've never had any experience in the area. They've got a great idea, they've got the platform idea, but they haven't figured out how to reach the distributors and producers. So this is where we're coming in, and that's the problem we're solving. Media.tv is free to sign up. It's fully bilingual. It has extensive search features to allow buyers and sellers to find the content from the sellers, and it allows direct communication between them. From our business model standpoint, the service is free to use for any accredited TV professional. It's not consumer facing. You do have to register. We do accredit you. It's a freemium model, so we encourage producers to showcase their content, get premium positioning on the site, use mail shots to reach our 7,500 strong base, use digital showcases, something like what we're doing here, but for pitching TV shows. We also have something else, though, something very, very important. We have a lot of proprietary data. We have data not only from IPTV viewing, but also marketplace data. We have 4 years worth of genre, show, country of origin data, year of production data. And we sell already services to Disney, to Warner, to Viacom, to Star TV, for those of you from the subcontinent. This investment raise is about supporting our platform beyond those core elements which already exist. What we want to do is introduce premium memberships, and we want to start offering transaction level services, because that is where the real growth of Media.tv will come. When vendors have the option where, as I put it, the get out of bed money of actually going after a client, a buyer, is just too much relative to the money they're likely to spend, we can actually come in and fill that void. At the same time, we can also they can use our platform to actually promote their brand and create awareness. So in terms of our platform already, we're award winning. We've won awards internationally at MIPCOM, regionally, and even this year we just won Digital Studio Awards. And we host a CEO summit. We've done it now; it's in its 5th edition. So the CEOs of the TV networks. This goes back to the TV channel licensing business that started this whole process off. We have over 700 buyers using the service, and in terms of the client side, we've got some very big brands using us. Obviously, as you'd imagine, with COVID hitting, it's become more popular. So we started the year with about 40 companies using the service. Now we have over 90, including companies like Intermedia, who, again, TV lovers will know the show Bitterlands, Mediaset, who make shows for Netflix, shows like Unauthorized Living, Nippon TV in Japan. So about 25 countries using the service, and double the number of shows as well on the platform, I should say. The team, we're a small team. I'm obviously not an Arabic speaker, but the rest of the team is fluent in Arabic, English, and in Bilal's case, French as well. Tasabi is the primary source of the data used by those networks I mentioned earlier. And Bilal, his marketplace of emails, as I mentioned, reach over 7,000 TV professionals every week. We're also supported by advisors on the technology, the strategy, and marketing side. In terms of our competitive positioning, obviously you can be looking at MENA focus, you could be looking at international, you can be going in person, you can be digital. Within the digital regional space, we are the only service that's basically serving the $3 billion MENA content market. Digital markets remain a new area. So actually, if we look at the international players below our brand there, we're serving as many buyers as they are. So each of our platforms is similar in scale, even if they are trying to cover a bigger area. I think one of our USPs is that we understand the importance of focusing on that buyer community and that ecosystem.
Okay. So Nick, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it's been more than 9 minutes. Could you just jump to the investment ask and what you're planning?
Very well. Okay, so just going to the point quickly, obviously the trade shows that you saw there, they cannot function any longer within the space, so they're having to pivot. They can't do that because the economies of scale for them are about multiple verticals, which is placing more and more business in our direction. In terms of our forecast financial, you'll see how the network effects kick in 2022 and onwards through the transactional service that we're offering. Still a significant proportion remain the upgrades to the listing services. Our ask, we're looking for a minimum raise of $200,000, and our growth projections are basically dependent on enhancing our technology to increase buyer engagement and develop the new revenue streams. 163,000 of that funding, that year one funding, is going straight into platform development. We're working with a business in Ukraine which specializes in marketplace development, but this will all be proprietary to us. The remainder is about outreach and to buyers and sellers. Similar spend in 2022. So that 450 that you see there is about having a 2-year runway. In things that we haven't included in our business model are things like expansion into new markets. Globally, we've had already interest in Africa, Russia for similar services for using our tech and our IP, and expansion in other verticals. Just picking one in particular, you cannot sell international content into MENA without dubbing. We become the primary gateway for a $100 million business, which potentially could be a big margin opportunity for us.
Okay.
In terms of exits, we could be sold to a media conglomerate. Anyone who knows MENA knows that the governments are very interested in owning the media space. There are global trade show operators looking to pivot, and potentially one of those global competitors may ultimately be in a position to buy. And just to remind you, all the information is available on eureka.com. And thank you very much for your time. And apologies if I overran very slightly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you please stop sharing your screen, Nick? That would be great. And let's move on to the panel questions. Alexandre maybe, or Jean-Luc?
Yes.
I was trying to I'm not sure, maybe I missed that part. What is the revenue you're making today on the company?
Right now, our revenue is on the business, the MENA.tv business itself is approximately $100,000.
Okay. So what is the because at the same time you mentioned your first references you got in 2017. So what is the, let's say, what is the main challenge today? If you consider growth and is it customer acquisition? What is the main challenge to let's say the opportunity is clear? You framed that very well. But let's say what would be the main challenge today if you want to achieve your growth objectives?
Well, the main challenge for several years has been getting the industry. The industry goes back. The show MIPCOM was a very famous show that takes place in Cannes every October. There's another show called MIP TV. They've been running now for close to 40 years. This is a relationships business. People get familiar with the names that they know. They get comfortable with a particular way of doing business. And actually that has not favored MENA at all, because MENA, typically the buyers don't even go to MIPCOM. There's a very small community of buyers. So actually the industry has been quite constrained. If anything, there's been a lack of efficient acquisition of TV content in MENA. You've got over 1,000 TV channels and you've got multiple streaming networks, not always buying content because they don't even know how to. But even globally, this idea of a digital marketplace, it's so intuitive to anyone who's coming from the outside, but within the market, there's a lot of resistance to the idea because I think naturally buyers and sellers are worried about their own position and to some extent and how it might be undermined. What we've really discovered over the last couple of years is how important it is to keep the buyers engaged. A lot of the other platforms are very focused on sellers and trying to bring in big brands and bring in large libraries. That's obviously important, but what's more important is to have a reason for the buyer to be coming back to your platform. Having a face-to-face meeting, sort of like what we're doing here, is great because we can engage with each other. But what we want is almost a LinkedIn experience. So if I'm a TV executive, I'm not always going just to buy content. I'm going also because I've had a connection request or because there's some new data which is relevant to me. There's, whether it's audience data or a deal data. So there are lots of reasons why I'm going to be dipping in to Mina.tv to stay within the market and stay part of it. Does that answer your question? I appreciate the good question.
Maybe a follow-up to that also. So basically that marketplace, but that also allow, let's say if you take a do, for instance, I mean, I'm trying to put this in a perspective of a consumer. Today, for instance, if you look at the way they package things, it's very coarse. It's very, let's say, unsatisfying for the consumer, right? So for instance, as a French citizen for years here, I cannot find a package that I like. And that forces me to find workaround solutions, streaming, in different ways. And is that the type of problem you're as well solving through the marketplace?
You're talking about the consumer experience. Remember that Mina.tv is a B2B platform. But what's interesting is that the problem you just described is even worse in the B2B space. So we all love Netflix and these services because for the first time, we can actually search for TV shows in a much more effective way. We just wish that we didn't have to deal with 17 of them in order to get the shows we want. I'm constantly flipping between them. In the B2B space, there isn't even that aggregation in that way. Without a service like Mina.tv, as a buyer, I'm forced to kind of, Google and see, find TV shows, and so it's very, very challenging unless I happen to be really plugged into the market and spending thousands of dollars to fly to Cannes or to Miami for NatP. And even there, I'm only going to see a small selection of the content producers because they're spending tens of, or indeed hundreds of thousands of dollars to exhibit. So it's a grossly inefficient B2B market. And the reason it's been able to exist that way is because there's so much money. I mean, $100 billion being spent annually in the US. As I said, in the MENA alone, it's $3 billion. So it is such an open opportunity for disruption here. But there is that resistance, as I said, on the sellers and the buyers, particularly the buyer side, just because I suppose there's this idea of, my connections are my career, as it were. And the truth is the industry is becoming commoditized.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for Nick?
Okay.
So,
no?
Nick.
Yes, Asad, please.
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
you have competition analysis, like who are the major competition from the Middle East? What I better understand, and like how you are different from, or maybe in the future, like what this 2447 in Abu Dhabi, how they can compete with you? I mean, like it's a matter of platform, right? So is there any direct or indirect competition that you see with them, or you are more like more collaborative with them?
It was a very interesting example you've given 2454, because obviously that's an example of one of the exits I talked about. So governments, whether it's the Abu Dhabi government or the Riyadh government, the Saudi government, they are all very, very keen to take a prominent position in the media space. They recognize how important it is to the growth of their economies. But we are a useful tool for them. So, 2454's business model is about bringing companies in to actually register, whether it's a branch office or if it's a small company, that their core operation in Abu Dhabi. What we are providing is a vehicle for those producers to then market their shows to the MENA buyers, because the buyers will not relocate to Abu Dhabi. We're talking about CBC in Egypt, or Enahar TV in Algeria, Al Shakir in Iraq. Like, these are companies that basically they are serving their own domestic populations. That's on the broadcast side. On the streaming side, again, the buyers could be anywhere. So what we're doing is providing tools. And in fact, I have a call with Janan at 2454, scheduled for next week, precisely to this point. We work with them, and we actually publishing a report for example, for Ramadan audience for 2020, which will directly help the producers and distributors in producing for 2021. But also in terms of our competition in the region, if I had to pick a direct competitor, it's very hard to do that. The trade shows, you know, DICM, for example, which takes place every year, they have been a partner with us now for 3 years. From their point of view, they obviously provide the face-to-face opportunity, you know, normally when you're not in the COVID time, but we actually bring the buyers because we have this huge, you know, portfolio of buyers for shows such as DICM. We do the same thing with the international shows such as NatP or MIPCOM.
Okay.
Okay, great. If there is no more question, let's give a round of applause for Nick for his pitch.
Thank you, Nick.
It's been brilliant.
Thank you.
And we'll take the conversation offline with other investors.
Okay.
Last but not least, please, Salah.
Oh my God, we always do this, right? We should be jinxing each other now.
Yes.
So last but not the least, we've got our female founder, Jasrina Arshad. So really excited to see her. Welcome, Jasrina. And she's going to be talking about Purely Bee, her startup.
Live from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, I believe.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Thank you for sticking around right to the end. Let me just share my screen.
How many minutes, Munir?
7 minutes for Jasrina.
Thank you. Oops. Okay. So hi again, everyone. Thank you for having me. So I'm Jasrina. I'm the founder and CEO of Purely Bee, Asia's leading health and wellness digital lifestyle brand and community platform. Sorry, I'm not sure why it's animating by itself, so I'm going to control it right now. So I started the company 5 years ago because of my own personal health journey. So I was able to overcome long-term health issues by changing my diet, my lifestyle to be more healthy and natural. It was life-changing for me, but extremely difficult for me to get there because of the lack of awareness, lack of accessibility and affordability to trusted health solutions that can guide us on improving our health and overcoming diseases. Today, we're seeing a rise of health risks in Asia. 2 billion people are overweight, 200 million diabetics in the world live in Asia. And now with the COVID pandemic, more than ever, people are looking for trusted solutions to strengthen their immunity and prevent diseases. That's why we created Purely Bee, a one-stop solution to make it easy, accessible, and affordable for everyone to lead a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. In the past 5 years, we've built Purely Bee as a trusted voice and platform for people to turn to for guidance on how to improve their health across nutrition, fitness, mindfulness, and wellness. Today, we help to transform their health on an even deeper level with our own brand of traditional Asian health food products. All our products are based on tropical medicinal Asian herbs that have been used for centuries for healing and prevention in Asia, but have gotten lost amongst the modern generation. So we work with traditional healers, herbalists, and medical scientists in bringing these ancient traditions in wellness back to the modern generation in an accessible, appealing, and affordable way. In doing so, we're able to preserve the local Asian wellness culture, heritage, and herbs, as well as create jobs for marginalized communities who we employ in the harvesting, production, and commercialization of our products. And the herbal food and drinks industry is a $15 billion industry in Asia alone, a $100 billion industry globally. And there's huge untapped potential for a local homegrown Asian brand to take ownership of our Asian herbs and heritage and take it to a global market. Turmeric is a $3 billion industry today because a US brand made it trendy for the modern generation. So it's time for us to take ownership of our own herbs and heritage. And we have a strong, diverse team of digital specialists, medical scientists, nutritionists, and natural health doctors, all with a shared passion and vision on making a positive difference in people's lives. Today, we're Asia's #1 health and wellness digital lifestyle brand, and we have 4.5 million users worldwide. Everything we've done today has been focused just on the Malaysian market, yet organically, we've attracted a global audience across UAE, US, India, and Hong Kong. Why? Because we're the only brand that integrates digital content and traditional Asian health products from a holistic lifestyle approach for the modern generation, the millennials. So we have a strong brand, a strong digital ecosystem in which we have content and education at the foundation and the helm. In everything we do, it's about educating first. And through the interest that we generate, we then launch traditional Asian superfood products that are based on ancient remedies that have been used for generations. And we work with the traditional healers and herbalists. We then work with the medical scientists, ensuring that they're backed by science. And then we work with marginalized communities in ensuring that we're able to improve their livelihoods, create jobs, and preserve our heritage. And with the strong brand and community and platform that we've built, we were able to see a successful pilot launch of our traditional Asian superfood product. In the first 12 weeks, we garnered $80,000 in revenue, spending just $4,000 in marketing spend. That's a 2,000% return on marketing investment. And we were able to reach 700 customers worldwide, even though all our marketing was only spent on Malaysia. And we sold our products are sold in monthly subscription model, individual products, as well as today also in packages with online virtual health programs, with everyone now in also looking at ways to improve their health through digital content. And our strength is digital. So how we enter the market, everything we've done so far, all the sales that we've made to date is purely on e-commerce through social commerce, digital content, social influencers. We do not work with distributors, retailers at all, because our issue right now is being able to fulfill the demand online. We're not even able to fill the demand on our e-commerce platform. So even though there are interested distributors and retailers from other markets wanting to work with us and order certain volumes of stock, we're not able to because we don't have the capital to produce a large volume right now. So we actually have 5 recipes ready to launch that we can't even launch yet because we were not able to fill demand for our current signature product. So that's why we're looking to raise $500,000 in investment by end of the year to be able to scale up production, expand the digital wellness education and reach, and expand our traditional Asian product line across multi-markets, particularly UAE, Indonesia, and Singapore, where we have a very strong organic customer base with no active marketing spent to those markets that we want to leverage on and build up our leadership in the market across the region even stronger. In doing so, we're able to generate up to 3 million revenue and gross annual sales in the next 12 to 18 months, expanding to the 3 markets, expanding to 5 new products, as well as employ 100 over marginalized women and farmers during the next 12 to 18 months. Our working with marginalized communities also includes upskilling in digital sales and marketing in sales for our products. So the usage of the funds, 60% will be used for product content development operations, 30% for marketing, market expansion, and 10%, of course, on data infrastructure and tech, because digital is the foundation of our business. And we're looking as an exit strategy, as IPO acquisition in the next 4 years. There are many companies, global companies, that have been looking at working with us, as well as acquiring health and wellness brands that have a strong following amongst the modern generation. A lot of these brands are very old fashioned and they're looking to connect with the millennial generation where they've already developed trust with these boutique smaller brands. We achieved early acquisition interest back in 2016, which would have given our investors 5 times the return on their investment and a 10 million valuation when we were just 1.5 years old. But they all agreed it was too early to sell and it was worth a lot more at the time. So that's basically my business. I hope you will join me in revolutionizing traditional Asian health food products for the modern generation, truly making it easy, accessible, and affordable for everyone to lead sustainable, healthy lifestyles and help improve the livelihoods of marginalized communities across Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Thank you. Fantastic, Jasrina. That was
Thank you very much.
Very...
A round of applause for Jasrina's presentation.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Questions?
Question for Jasrina? Advisors? Investors? Samar, do you have a question for Jasrina?
No, I just wanted to kind of remark on how wonderful it is to see women founders, and you know, sometimes they just do better pitches.
Okay.
I'm totally not biased, but anyway, okay. Jean-Luc has unmuted.
Jean-Luc, yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's mainly a comment. I really love the pitch. I think it's a very timely type of value proposition, and also you're clearly demonstrating how much you can achieve through digital marketing if you do things the right way. So for me, it's a very interesting opportunity that is presented here to the investors, because I think a lot of good data to back it up.
Yes, yes.
So well done.
Thank you so much.
Do we have anyone else for Jasrina? Samar?
No, nobody yet. I just want to say, Munir, very smart of you to save Jasrina till the end. So we're finishing on a very high note.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have any questions? What about Alexandre? Does he have any questions?
Is Alexandre still around?
Actually, he's gone. Oh,
I don't see his name in the list.
Hmm.
Who else do we have?
Heike wants to say
Heike, maybe a comment.
I just want to say a comment. I think it's a very, very valued presentation and what the market is looking for. So I definitely believe you have a huge potential and your numbers are speaking for itself. So it's definitely, I agree with Jean-Luc. It's a great potential for investor to jump on this and to support you. So definitely great presentation. Well done.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, Jasrina,
wants to say something?
So Asad, yes, please.
So I have a one question that you're looking for $500,000, but
Yeah.
do you have any previous round before, or is it so far the bootstrap? It's your own investment. Do you have any angel investment so far, or any round that you have secured for your startup, or this is the first time that you're raising?
No, we actually raised a seed round in 2015 through led by 500 startups, the venture capitalists, together with another VC in Malaysia, Brunsfield Ventures, and an angel investor. So that was actually back in 2015 before we did products. So the traditional Asian products that I just shared, which is a core part of monetization in our business, was only a year old. So that was just a year ago. So when we started the business, we have pivoted since. So that was at the start when we were just launching our content platform, our educational platform. And they invested twice in our business. The same investors invested twice in our business. So we've raised about $1 million so far, $1 million US to date. But that was prior to. Sorry.
And how many founders you are? You're a sole founder, or you have other founders?
No, I have a founding team. My founding members, they are the health experts. I'm the digital specialist. So there's 6 co-founders. However, I'm majority, and I'm the most active founder, full-time. The others, because they are health specialists, they are doctors, and so on, they have their practices at the same time, but they're also in advisory. They also help in creation of the product, and so on and so forth.
And all are from Malaysia or from different parts of the world?
No, from different parts. So Dr. Bodeker, he's actually Australian and British. So he's a Harvard-trained Oxbridge professor, also the chairman of the Global Wellness Institute of Mental Health. But he also works in Malaysia, working with professors here on writing books and white paper studies on the healing properties of these tropical medicinal herbs. But we also have some of our founders are also, one is from Austria and the others are from Malaysia.
Are you done, Asad, with the questions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll be circulating everyone's speech to over. Yes, please.
Sorry, just last thing. Jasrina, we would love, Munir, we would love to have in-depth analysis of the investment requirement with Jasrina.
Okay.
Fantastic.
No worries. We'll arrange that as soon as possible. So great. So Jasrina, I'm really happy that you finished on a good note. And again, amazing presentations. Samar, over to you before we close the session. And if you can say a few words, and then I'll take it.
All right. So I mean, I think I'm going to start off with this comment from George. He says, let me say a huge thank you to BizzMatcher, host and all entrepreneurs and advisors. Do you mean me or do you mean Munir? Okay. So that's my question. Absolutely agreed. He says you're great world movers in any way. This is your activity. Something.
It's a teamwork, Samar. So please don't think that he's been putting anyone specific.
Me, right?
Yeah.
But look, so I think it was fantastic. We did 4 days. I think it was back to back. So right at the beginning, when Munir said to me, "Okay, it's 4 days," and we weren't really sure at that time about day 3. And then everything came together. So I think it's, the back end, everything that goes behind putting an event together. Because I host events all the time, I think this is fantastic to Munir and the entire Signature Network team. But I think, Munir, you're also very lucky because you've got amazing advisors, Heike, Jean-Luc, Mike,
We are so blessed. We are
Alexandre,
so blessed.
everybody. And then people kept coming and going and kept saying, oh, we're so sorry to go. I think that's, at the end of the day, I think any event, anything that you do, it's about the feeling that you leave behind, right? So it doesn't matter. And now in the virtual world, you can't eat anything anyway. So it's never about the food.
Yeah.
It's always about this. Sorry, you want to say something?
Now, the most important thing is to give added value to all the startups who are coming to our platforms. You know, at least we want them to go away with some knowledge, with some advices, in case they don't get the investment that they were seeking. But you know, again, we want to, you know, contribute to the ecosystem, to the community. We'll do this kind of format on a regular basis now that COVID-19 has, you know, accelerated it. So we're doing it on a monthly basis. We have our next edition, as we mentioned in our website, in November. We'll have another edition in December, and we have more exciting projects going on for 2021. So it's always great to, you know, to have people like you, Samar, to have like such you know, illustrious investors, just as Mike Hardcastle, Asar Ahmed, Dr. Daral Al-Ghawaz, who was she was amongst us earlier, and the name, you know, the list goes on and on, just to name a very few. But thank you all to all of you, because all of this would never been possible, you know, without your contribution, guys, without your acceptance. It's hard work. So I want to thank Khayala for her great, amazing efforts. I want to thank Mohammed Bali, our charity partners from Penny Appeal. We work. I want to thank Flat 6 Labs, represented by Salha Abbas. I want to thank Abdullah Al-Noemi from Namos Legal Services, and much more. But sorry, because of the time constraint, I don't have time to thank all of you.
And one last thing. So Munir mentioned in the chat earlier that you guys are welcome to leave testimonials. So please do that. So Munir can, you know, keep doing the great work that he's doing.
Thank you so much.
Also, Hamid is saying that he's looking forward to the next edition, and hopefully even more professional teams coming back. So any words? By the way, so Munir, a question for you, which I think you can answer. So yeah. People are asking, how can they access all the presentations if they wanted to?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes, so we'll be uploading all because this is all recorded, and that's the beauty of Zoom and of virtual events. So this is recorded, and from this weekend, all the online conferences from day 1 to day 4 will be available on Signature Network website and Signature Network YouTube channel. And we'll be sharing the link with all the entire community through email and through LinkedIn posts. So stay tuned, and most importantly, all the startups who have been able to pitch today, all the videos and the video pitch will be circulating to all our investors that you can see on the landing page. So even the one who missed our session, they will still, have access to those video pitch and contact us if they want to take it further with you guys and, try to know more about the financials, numbers, and if there is any investment opportunity behind it. So as promised, we are committed to 12-month follow-up with either current investors or new investors coming on board on our platform. We have an average of 3 investors every day coming to our platforms. And they all want to see the startup pitches, and they all want to contribute. So don't worry about the numbers. We really focus on the quality of the investment you get.
Oh, thank you, Hamid. What a sweet message. So Hamid is saying that, today is the day off in Iran, but he's here at his office. So we won't, we won't keep you too long, Hamid, but just a quick note for the startups, right? So I mentioned right at the beginning, but I am a startup coach. I've been working with more than 4,500 founders across Pakistan primarily, but also, other parts of the world now. I think for startups, it's always, a wait and watch kind of, we're sitting at the edge of our seat waiting for that call or for that follow-on meeting. But even if that doesn't happen, it doesn't matter, because these are all little steps in your journey, in your startup journey. So obviously for the ones who've been at it for a lot longer, so Jasrina's been at it for 5 years, obviously, but investment can take a bit of time. There will be follow-on questions. Investors can lose interest also. There may be commitments. They may not come through. because of different reasons. So all of that is normal. But at the end of the day, I think, all of you have done fantastically well to have been selected. Munir, do we have any figures on how many actually applied and how, do we have any figures on that? Or
so far we have 12 matches. So we have almost 800 people applied. 35 got shortlisted. And we have so far 11 or 12 matches. We have to look back in the numbers.
So that's fantastic, right? I mean,
yes.
Out of 800, you're here. And obviously, you've had so many eyeballs. All of us will remember, and who knows where the connections can come. So any way that, I can help, go ahead, contact Munir, he can connect us and so on and so forth. So best of luck and thank you.
And please, every one of you, if you can leave us some testimonial or Google review on the link that we have shared earlier. We can share it again here. And we would love your contribution and spread the word around to any startup who would like to give themselves a chance and pitch and have an amazing and creative idea. They are welcome to to apply on BizzMatcher Accelerator conference landing page, and we'll be happy to review them, to screen them, and see if we can take it further. So again, Samar, thank you very much for your support. Thank you, Asad Ahmed, for your support. Alexandre, Mike, Jean-Luc, Heike, Christina, and all the rest of the list that is available on the landing page. So, and we'll be having more amazing people coming for the next editions, inshallah.
Mike is unmuted. Yes.
Yeah,
Mike.
I just want to say thank you. So yeah, well done. Went very well, and yeah, got a lot of interesting stuff out of it. So I just thought you should hear that.
So look, before everybody goes off, Munir, do you want to take a group photo? Maybe the others can also switch on their videos, and you could do a group photo of everyone.
Oh yeah, that's a great
especially
idea.
Considering we're so color coordinated. Oh, so thank you guys on a special note for going along with my let's all dress similar request. Look at this, right? Besides Jasrina, obviously Jasrina didn't know, but look at that. Look at the beautiful.
I really count on people like Heike, who takes amazing pictures, to give us a good, good caption so that we can share it. And if you share it on LinkedIn, feel free to tag us, and we can, contribute. And
if anybody else wants to open their videos, guys, okay. So last request coming up.
Mehdi, Salwa, Sanju, Mohammed Bali, Chanakia can take a beautiful last picture before we close this session.
Anybody else? Afil, Asad, come on. We know you now. We've seen your faces.
We give you 10 seconds, otherwise you will miss the shot. Well done, Shanakia.
Okay,
Great
10,
responsiveness.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. All right, smile, guys. Okay. All right.
Excellent. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Mohammed has disconnected the screen camera. So should we make another one? Okay, let's make a last one just for, to please Mohammed.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Chanakia, your hand was all over the place. Okay, so is everybody ready? Can you just stay put? Don't, do naughty things right now. Happy, smile. Okay, awesome. Munir, I'll send it to you.
Sure, thank you. Thanks to all of you. You've been amazing. You did a great job. And please stay tuned and feel free to come and watch our next editions in November. And we'll be in touch with most of the startups who have been, given the chance to pitch during this session. And again, thanks to our investors for the interest and for the challenging questions. But it's very useful. It's always useful for a startup to get such feedbacks like Mike, like, people like Jean-Luc and the rest of the Assad and the rest of the investors. So great. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy all your weekends and have enjoy your time with your family. Stay safe, and let's close the session. See you later.
Bye.
Mike, don't forget the review after 4 days. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Bye.